You guys can hear us. That's awkward. Hi. How's everybody doing? I can see that Space Mountain is at 44% for you guys' favorite history land. That's not what I expected. Okay.
It's a good episode.
It is a good episode, but Fantasyland I feel like is way better. But anyways, yeah, welcome to a very special episode of Matterhorn Mondays, episode 166.
Okay. Are we still muted?
No, we're not muted. It's the delay.
Okay,
the stream delay is just long.
Okay, I'll start over. Welcome to a very special episode 166 of Matterhorn Mondays. And for those of you guys who might not know who we are, because it's been a very long time since, we've shown our faces, really done anything on this channel. So yeah, my name is Maddie, and I'm joined by my usual partner in crime, Mr. Jeremy Harris, to the left of me.
Yeah.
Jeremy, I guess sorry, for those who don't or might not remember who Jeremy is, why don't you go ahead and reintroduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. A lot of familiar usernames in the chat. I was going to say faces, but we can't see you. Only in my mind's eye can I imagine what you look like. So for many years, I was Maddie's head writer for the channel at large, writing Historyland and a lot of other series, and was an occasional guest on this show, and eventually co-host for most of 2020 and 2021. So good to see you all again, and we're happy to be here. And you'll notice a third wheel here.
Wait a minute.
I don't know who this person is.
Me neither.
He wandered off the streets of Epcot into our podcast, you guys. No, I'm just kidding.
Picked me up off the streets.
Yeah, we picked him up off the streets. But you guys might not know who this is. This is our good friend and friend of the channel, I guess, Nate. Nate, why don't you introduce yourself? Maybe give a little
friend
bit
of the
background.
channel. I wrote your podcast.
Okay, well, best friend of the channel.
Not a friend.
I wrote Matterhorn Mondays for a while, for basically all of 2020.
Yeah.
Every word that came out of her mouth was mine, actually.
That's very true. And we love Nate for that. So we decided to bring him on for the final episode today. Just because, Jeremy and I, we can talk, but like having 3 people is like, what? That's like a lot of people. Really cool. But yeah, we're very excited to be here for you guys for the very last episode of the podcast. I guess a lot has changed since the last time you guys were here, but like I said in the intro, this is going to be a very special episode of the show. In case you guys might not have noticed, it's been exactly 497 days since we made any kind of significant content on the channel. And I'm not really sure if you guys saw my post that I made last May when I talked about, myself coming out as trans, whatever, all that stuff, and putting the channel on pause while I dealt with that. We had planned to do this episode way sooner, but, life happens, we've been busy, lots of other stuff, and, honestly, we've just been putting it off, I guess. It's really scary to say goodbye properly to all of you guys, but we're here now, very excited. So this is going to be fun, I guess, our final send-off for the channel. We're going to have News from the Peak. It's going to basically be like an episode of Matterhorn Mondays, News from the Peak, voicemails. We'll get to voicemails after I'm done talking for so long. We'll have 2 topics. Our first topic, we're going to be doing D23 predictions, parks-related D23
We have a special
predictions.
guest for that conversation.
Yeah, we do have a special guest. We have Freddie, who's going to be joining us for that first topic later on. Very excited to have Freddie back on the show. It's been a while since we've talked to him, but and then for our second and kind of like our main topic, we're going to be like reminiscing on the channel, discussing the history of the YouTube channel, our early goals for the channel, maybe if we have any plans for the future, and ultimately, why I decided to stop making videos. But yeah, Be sure to have your tissues ready for that. And I see people in chat. We do get a Snapple Pop, although I'll get into it because the bottles are different. These are plastic. I'll save that for later. But you guys, we have voicemails. 575-386. Oh my gosh, one of the numbers cut off. That's so embarrassing. It's 575-386-5491. Yeah, we had to bring it back for the final episode. And if you guys would like to call in, maybe you could say some nice, well, you don't have to say what I'm saying, but as long as it's like related to the topic that we're saying. But we'd like for you to maybe call in, say your favorite memory from the channel, favorite memory from the podcast, favorite history land, anything, related to like the channel that, if it meant a lot to you.
Ask us questions too. Ask us questions, any questions you want. That'll be fun for us to do. Yeah.
So how you guys doing? Jeremy,
Good.
How are you?
I'm doing well, right now in this moment. I'm okay. I think we should just go.
You think we should
just
go?
Okay. Let's
Well,
go.
I have,
the
to
news
ask,
from the
I have to ask
week.
Nate how he's doing because I didn't ask him. I asked Jeremy. Nate,
I'm
How you
good.
feeling?
I'm good.
you're good.
Feeling pretty good.
They don't want to talk about their feelings, you guys.
I have
Save it
things
for
I
the
want to
second
talk about in news from the peak.
Okay. Yeah, we can get to news from the peak. 575-386-5491 is the voicemail number. If you guys like to call in, if you have any thoughts about the news from the peak. But yeah, let's get into news from the peak, everybody.
We now present to you news from the peak.
Wow. Jeremy's voice
Wow.
over is still
The last time you'll hear that.
in like a good way though.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a good way.
Okay.
All right,
Nate,
should I get started?
Yeah. Nate
get
is
started. What's our
gonna-
first topic?
Our
I
first
see it.
topic: Magic Band Plus released at Walt Disney World and has been teased for a Disneyland release. Usually for news from the peak we would have a little script, but today we don't because we're just running through it real quick. So Magic Band Plus, let me look at my notes. Released in July, $35, $45 if you want one with a little bit of design on it. I think it's a decent price. It's whatever. At Walt Disney World, it'll interact with the statues that they have around the parks for the 50th anniversary. It's all right. And the game on Batu seems pretty fun. That's what's teased for Disneyland as well. I don't like how it interacts with the shows at all. It just seems kind of really boring and not worth it. I'm going to be buying one when I go next, but that's just because I'm afraid that they're going to do something like new and fun and cool with them and they're going to like raise the price. But
Great.
yeah. So that's where I'm at with that. If
All
anyone
right.
has a comment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about them. I don't really particularly care about them.
Yeah.
So, what is funny is that people are reporting that like the battery gets drained after like 30 seconds.
Mhm. I'll have all the insight on it for you.
Yeah. Just personally, because we'll
No
talk
more
about
show,
it
no more
privately.
show.
No more show. So
Yeah.
we won't talk about it. Cool. Should we move on to the next
Yeah.
think so.
Jeremy?
news from the peak? Wow, we're so rusty. I forgot how hard this is and how much focus is required. And anyway, Magic Keys for the Disneyland Resort are still not available for renewal, it seems. At least there's no announcement. That's been a running thing. Magic Keys, as everybody knows, has been the rebranded version of the Disneyland annual pass system, which was brought into effect last year-ish, I believe. People who bought into the Magic Keys were expected some kind of announcement last month, this month, regarding renewing into some tier. We don't know what tiers will be available, but now it seems the people are getting a little more cynical about this. Some people are reporting that if they type into the support chat that the automated message no longer says that there will eventually down the line be an option for renewal. It just says we don't know anything about it, and hopefully there'll be an announcement soon. So that seems to be what people keep hearing. I know some people are a little upset about it because people are trying to plan trips around the fact that they were going to be able to renew into something. So hopefully that gets announced. I have a little theory of when there might be an announcement, but we might get that into that a little later. But yeah, I think that sort of covers that a little bit. Magic Key thing has kind of gotten mixed reviews. So it's probably a combination of them trying to figure out how to restructure the program, and they haven't done that yet. So yeah.
Yeah, don't we just love Magic Keys, you guys? I just love Magic Keys so much. That's a really cute pin, by the way, on the picture. I would buy one just for the pin, but yeah, I have a
Wow. You would buy a pin for $1,000+ That's amazing.
It's pretty cute, Jeremy. Look at that. It's like got like a nice gradient.
Cute
It's a
pin.
nice pin.
Yeah.
It's a nice pin.
Okay, well, anyways, I have a news from the peak, the final bit of news from the peak. And of course, I guess, I had to be stuck talking about freaking Bob Chapek, but that's okay because he was renewed as CEO for 3 more years recently. He was extended at least until July of 2025. Yeah, and I guess that goes against a lot of the rumors that we've been hearing about Bob, like how the board didn't really have faith in him and the whole drama with like the other Bob. Didn't like the other Bob call him out and like a couple things like that. I can't really remember, to be honest. But he has made them a lot of money through the pandemic, which is really, one of the main reasons they renewed his contract. And I feel like at this point they do have to be committed to him since he's done such a good job as a good job as the CEO in quotation marks. Yeah, what do you guys have to say about Bob Chapek being renewed?
I'm not surprised. I mean, it would be really weird if he was gone after 2 years. So we'll see. I mean, Disney is what it is now, and Bob is doing his thing. And the semi kind of good news is that the parks have made a lot of money the past couple years, actually. And so he's kind of switched his strategy, or implied that he's switching his strategies from focusing the company's resources entirely on DMED, which is the streaming and media portion, and he was going to put a little bit more investment into the parks, which is kind of good news. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. I mean, if there's a Bob in charge of the company, I'm sure it's going to be okay.
Okay, fair. I want to meet Bob. Wouldn't you guys like to meet him? Take a funny picture with him.
I want to like touch his head. I want to know if just like what's going on there.
Does it feel like a leather? It's probably really
Yeah.
sunburned.
He seems like a really nice
Wait.
guy, actually. All things aside, he seems like a really nice guy.
Okay, well, that was news from the peak, everybody. The very last news from the peak, so I guess rest in peace. Rest in
No
peace.
more news.
Yeah, there's not going to be any more news
No
ever,
more news.
you guys. Never changing. Say goodbye to Jeremy's beautiful voiceover that he did, that I made.
We're deleting the file. So
Live on stream, yeah.
Okay, just deleted. Mark said in chat that he met him at Candlelight last year, which is pretty cool. Good from Mark. Mark, did you touch his head? Let us know in the chat.
I don't think he touched his head.
Well, anyways, before we get into our first topic, I have Snapple, you guys. It's been a long time since I've done this, and I don't have that cool, like, jingle. I can't remember the name of the person who made that cool jingle, but I have a Snapple here. Snapple Peach Tea. And as you can see, we've been out of it for so long. They literally changed the bottle for Snapple. It's not glass anymore, it's plastic.
it's really disappointing.
And I don't even know if it snaps anymore, if it makes like the sound. But I
It
guess
does.
like
It's not going to.
It doesn't. No.
I'm gonna turn my mic up really high. And I'm gonna stand far away when I talk, so I can snap this for you guys. No, it did not snap whatsoever.
It was like ASMR.
Yeah, there was some ASMR opening a bottle.
Really, I couldn't tell if you guys could hear it. Okay, well, this smells really good. I've legitimately not had a Snapple since like the last time we did the show. I'm not even kidding. I think my ice is melted. That's embarrassing. Okay, I have my Snapple here. And they still do put the Snapple facts. This is real fact number 60, you guys. The tongue is the fastest healing part of a human body.
I'll put that to the test. Where's the knife? Oh, I'm kidding.
Jeremy, you cannot do that. Okay, well, anyways, I have my same old cup as the last time we did this too. The one from Oga's Cantina.
Is that the Oga's Cantina? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah. Kind of anticlimactic Snapple segment because it didn't even snap anymore. But, yeah, so I guess I forgot to mention at the top of the episode, we have videos that we're going to play throughout the episode. I reached out to all of the old guests that were on the show, and the ones who, responded within enough time to get their video sent. We're going to play them. We have one that we're about to play from Rob Plays. His is first, since he was the very first, outside guest that I had on the show 4 years ago. And then after that, we're just going to go alphabetically. And we don't have like enough segments to put them each in like their individual, like in between a video in between segments. So we're going to play all of them, or at least the majority of them, at the end of the episode. So like we'll run through them all and have listen to what nice things people had to say, saying goodbye to the channel. Yeah, so let's get into Mr. Rob Plays. And then after that, we're going to be joined by Freddie, and we're going to talk about our D23 predictions. Very exciting. Okay.
Before it opened, and we were speculating about how they might control crowds. So, hey everybody,
It's muted,
Rob
you guys.
Plays
That's
here.
embarrassing. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to send this in and send a fond farewell to Matterhorn Mondays and the Mountaineer Productions channel. It's been over 3 years, believe it or not, since I've been on the show myself. And I was just looking at that episode and kind of reliving fond memories. And two things that really stuck out to me were, well, one, for like the first 5 minutes of the show, I think I had a giant tuft of hair sticking up and I was completely oblivious to it. So good job, Rob. But two, I thought it was really interesting how we were talking about Galaxy's Edge right before it opened, and we were speculating about how they might control crowds. And if this was, of course, before we knew about the now famous or infamous virtual queue system. And it made me realize that's a large part of what I love about the Disney community. We can get together and we can talk about things we care about, and we can speculate and guess and, try and figure out what's going to happen. And sometimes we're right and sometimes we're really wrong. And ultimately, it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, we are all just passionate about these parks, and we get together and have fun talking about something we really care about. In any case, thanks so much for everything you've done over the years, and good luck to you in the future.
Aw, wasn't that sweet? We stan Rob Plays here on this account, on this YouTube
We
channel.
love Rob.
We love Rob. All right. Well, yeah, so that's basically the tone of the videos that we're going to be playing throughout the episode, you guys. But I'm very excited to introduce our fourth member of this podcast here, a very special guest.
We now
that's the
present
wrong
to
button.
you
We now present to you Freddie.
Oh my god, you guys, it's Freddie. Hi, Freddie. Welcome to the show. It's been a
It's good to be back.
it's been a very long time since you've been here, and we're very glad to have you back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's good to have sort of a little bit of a celebration of the podcast and everything that everyone worked on. And it's spent so much time and investment into. So yeah.
Yeah. I agree. And before we get started, Freddie, we have to congratulate you because, as some of you guys may or may not know, Freddie is actually has been engaged recently. So congrats
Oh
to
yeah.
Freddie. Round of applause.
Thank you. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I met my now fiance at Galaxy's Edge when we were opening up the land. So
That's really cute.
that's great. So yeah, we'll be married in November. So it's pretty quick.
Wow, that is fast. Wow. Congratulations.
Probably spot us at D23. We'll be going there together. So
Oh, okay.
be her first D23, which segments us right into talking about D23.
Talking.
You'll be there to
and
find
our
out if
thoughts
what we
on that.
talk about comes to fruition
Oh yes.
right now.
Yeah. Everything we say is going to be fact here. We know exactly what's going to happen. We have the script from Bob Chapek himself.
We do.
So,
We have
so
the
we're
whole
just gonna read
panel.
that off. Oh yes. Yeah, the whole entire thing.
They let Jeremy write it
So-
this year, so it's a little weird,
did.
but
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we should put
I wrote it in
spoiler alert
verse.
up there. We should just put a big spoiler alert,
Sure.
and we know what's happening.
Spoilers, you guys. But yeah, so our first main topic of the episode, we haven't really talked about well, I guess anything recently, but we haven't done like prediction stuff for D23 in a very long time because I think this is like the first D23 that's happened in like quite a few years because of the pandemic. Yeah, so very excited to. I thought you were gonna say something, Jeremy. You always.
I thought I
do
was
that.
too. I know. I opened my mouth and
Unbelievable.
everyone thinks I'm gonna say the most beautiful words.
But he's lying every time.
Yeah. No, but it's true. The last D23 was in 2019. But also, on this podcast, we love to partake in a little prediction making. And like Rob said, I thought that was a really good segue into this conversation. Sometimes we're right, and sometimes we are dead wrong. And at the end of the day, doesn't really matter.
As long as we had
It doesn't
fun.
really matter, Horn.
No.
Anyway.
Okay, Jeremy made his silly little wordplay joke. It's time to move on.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess we can go ahead and start with Freddie since you're our special guest of the episode. Why don't you go ahead and lay out your entire, well, maybe not your entire, some of your most, how would I phrase this? Like the things that you most believe are going to be announced at D23 parks related.
Okay. So how about we do it where we cover different parks and then just talk about
Okay.
what we think is going to happen. So let's start with Disney
Great.
World. So
All right.
Disney World, they just opened up Cosmic Rewind. They still have Tron left to announce when that's going to open. So I assume we will have a lot of Tron details sort of revealed as they get into that panel. But looking at the future of Disney World, there's a lot of little things that have kind of been dropped that we don't know when they're going to open or when they're going to continue working on them. So like the Wonders of Life Pavilion that is now the Play Pavilion.
Yeah.
When will that open? Because they've definitely worked on it. We just don't know when that's going to actually happen. Moana Journey of Water still needs its opening date. And then after that, there are plenty of Epcot projects, including the revision of the whole Future World area that still need to come to fruition. So they might announce, when those things are opening or what's in the future for that. One of the predictions I've seen floating around is the idea of Spaceship Earth actually getting its reimagining and getting its refurbishment, which it desperately needs, as like a big Epcot sort of wrapping up of that whole 2.0, 3.0 sort of version of the park. When it comes to all the other parks in Disney World, I really think that looking at the future, Disney's looking at Epic Universe opening in summer 2025 and saying, what are we going to have that's going to counter that? It's not like they're going to build a whole new gate. It's not like you're going to see, brand new theme parks being built or something large scale like that. But seeing new attractions open up around that time, something that they can market and advertise. The first thing being that Tiana's Bayou Adventure is going to open up in 2024. Sometime at Disneyland and sometime at Disney World. They didn't give specification in terms of early, late, or whatever they're going to do there. But I think that they'll use, in terms of Magic Kingdom, Tiana's Bayou Adventure as its new signature attraction, the reason to go to the Magic Kingdom. Yes, they're going to have Tron, but Tiana's Bayou Adventure is going to be sort of more of a dark ride. It's going to have a lot more elements. It's going to be something a lot more unique in terms of an offering to draw people there. In terms of Animal Kingdom, they still have the whole Dino Land like area where they used to have Primeval World or Primeval World. And so the real question is what's going to go in that spot? No one really knows. There have been plenty of rumors floating around Zootopia or something else. I think Zootopia could happen one day, but the problem with Zootopia is that it needs to open in Shanghai first.
Sure.
And so it hasn't even opened. You haven't even seen whether that's successful, whether that's actually going to work before you start porting it over anywhere. So I think Animal Kingdom is where the real mystery lies, and they can kind of surprise us with something.
Where did everybody go? Did my Discord crash?
What happened?
Did my
yes.
They'll never hear the predictions. Chapek got to me. That's it. We're done.
No, Chapek cut the camera feed. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Okay, we're back.
Can you get the stream back? You're back?
We're back. I
Live
don't know
again?
why my Discord crashed. I'm so sorry, you guys. That was just completely random. Okay, but we're back. Everybody, they can hear us.
They can hear us now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll keep going
can
then.
hear.
We'll keep going. Please text
Great.
into the chat if you can still hear us.
Are we alive for all of you? Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
I
They're
think
they're
so.
just
Oh no! I see it. I was double
okay.
checking.
The stream's
Yeah,
up.
we're live.
Yeah.
We're live. All right. So continuing
Fun.
forward, the big prediction I have is that they will announce an Encanto attraction for Disney World. I don't know
Okay.
where. I don't know when.
That
I
would be
think it's
cool.
going to be very vague. I could see them putting it in Magic Kingdom, but with Tiana's Bayou Adventure, why would you do that? I really think that a Columbia Pavilion going to Epcot makes a lot of sense. The way you're able to build in a Columbian street that goes straight towards where the casita is, and build out that whole land to actually have both the authentic culture of Colombia. Like, I don't think that they're going to partner with a corporate sponsor. I think that they are going to partner potentially with like the tourism, of the government there, or a cultural like institution. They'll find some way of having an actual tie-in, as they did with the actual film itself when they were developing it and they had cultural advisors. I think that they're going to find a way to do that, to actually have like a good message as they move forward with it. But I do think that Encanto, the way they keep talking about it as a franchise, is not a mistake. Lin-Manuel Miranda even talked about, hey, I want to see a ride before we make the next movie. And then the next time he had an interview, he was like, the Imagineers are on it. And then everyone's like, hush, 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 don't talk about it. So I don't think we're going to get anything specific. I think we're going to get a lot of vagaries around that, because it's something that's far enough out. Like, I would see that open in 2025, and probably be the big highlight, the big draw that they would sort of market around and try and get people to go to Disney World. So that's all I have to say about Disney World. If you guys want to go around and talk about any ideas you have for those parks.
Disney World, you guys.
Disney World. Yeah, well, I think a Columbia Pavilion would be really fantastic, and I actually think if done correctly, an Encanto attraction within that would work wonderfully, as long as it's not like a Fantasyland style dark ride that just kind of takes you through a highlights reel of the movie that you already saw. As long as I think, because those characters can be a really good vessel to explore Colombia, and Colombian culture. So I hope that they take the opportunity to lean more into that, as opposed to, like a Frozen Ever After, which it feels like it's like the characters as movie stars doing a concert highlights reel. So yeah, but I think there's huge potential for that, and I hope that happens. I agree. I mean, I agree with you across the board. I think the focus will basically be Tron and Tiana, with maybe some updates on new Epcot. I don't know if they'll have dates for stuff regarding Epcot. I feel like a lot of stuff is still up in the air, or a lot of that will be solidified. I don't know. But yeah, I still don't know if it's going to be enough to compete with a brand new theme park. But and it's not even, except for Tron, it's I'm really looking forward for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. What is it? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's what it's
Yeah,
called.
I got it.
That's what they
Good.
finalized the name of.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. Again, I think it's the right material for the right attraction. And because what makes Splash Mountain work really is the integration of music, and also just the ride layout is so perfect. So putting in better IP into that layout that already exists is going to be magic. But yeah, I basically agree. I don't really have that much more to add. I'm worried that it's not going to be enough to compete with Epic Universe, unless they really surprise us. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have anything extra to add either. I feel like last D23 was really the Epcot D23. They really focused on Epcot. It was kind of all they talked about, and then so much of that fell through. So I'm hoping that we can get an update on some of those projects that haven't realized yet. Specifically, like the Walt statue, that area, anything to do with Spaceship Earth. I feel that this would be a good moment to bring out that Walt statue and be like, hey, we're still doing it. I don't think that they could get that installed by October 1st for like the 40th to do a little celebration with it, but it'd be nice to at least see it. I think that there's going to be a lot of things with Disney World that they're going to focus on wanting to get open by this October 1st. Things that went away during the pandemic that I think they're going to mention, and it's going to be kind of catch up this year. I don't think that there's going to be a whole lot of new announcements. We're going to get like a Tron opening date. I don't think they're going to mention any new Epcot Pavilion, anything to do with Dino Land. It's just going to be too much for this year, for how they've seemed really strained with construction projects recently, or I felt in Epcot they just haven't been progressing with that sort of speed. I don't know. So hopefully some updates is what I'm hoping for.
I think that you're going to definitely see those. I think the other part of it is that as much as they might be playing catch up and trying to fix things, they still need things to look forward to. They still need to sign contracts with construction companies to keep them away from Universal. And I think that that's going to be the type of thing of like trying to lock down projects in the long term. It's the same way that when they announced Epcot, that it was going to get changes originally, you didn't see any progress for 2 years. Nothing. It's just like they're going to announce things, which we're going to get into, another thing they might announce that'll take a while before it progresses. But it's the whole thing of they will announce something, they will give you some blurry concept art and some vagaries, and then you won't hear about specifics for years as they continue to develop the idea. Very similar to what happened with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. It's like, all right, here's some concept art, here's an idea, we'll get back to you later and actually give you the information that you're looking for. It's always been that way. For the most part, it's very rare that Disney announces something and then it's like it's going to open in 2 years. Like, unless if it's a big thing, that rarely happens. You look at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, you look at a lot of these things. So we will see where we end up there. I think that next year, especially being the 100th anniversary of the company, they are going to try and lean into certain things that you might expect. Okay, they want to really open this by October 1st, but really the big celebration they want to gear everyone towards is just the 100th anniversary of the company. As much as it's like, oh, let's celebrate Epcot. Well, we're really going to celebrate Epcot next year. Actually, I think it was Tom Fitzgerald. Was it Tom Fitzgerald? It was one of the Imagineers during a panel when they were talking about the music of Epcot. Was like, oh yes, well, when we rededicate Epcot in 2023, and then it was like, again.
This has literally never happened to me using Discord. I am so sorry. Okay, we're back. Hello. You guys can still hear me?
Back again. We're live.
Okay. I don't know why it's doing that. That's honestly so weird.
You need that fourth monitor back.
I might need
It's
that
funny
fourth-
that you'd think the fourth monitor would like overwork the computer even more.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, anyways.
Okay.
2023. 2023 Epcot.
Epcot.
A musical history of Epcot box set. Fingers crossed.
Well, I think what they were doing is everyone's asking, when are you going to release the new Epcot anthem? When are you going to release the new music? And it was like, we'll release in 2023. We'll rededicate the park. Everyone's like, that's okay. That's a weird way to announce that. It's the slip of the tongue. You always catch those little things that you're like, you're not supposed to know that, but hey, we said this anyway. So don't hold us to it yet. But that's
When
what
was
I would
that?
actually expect. That was, I believe, Destination D is when that happened. So last year, Destination D.
Okay.
Last November. So we'll see, whether that ends up rearing its head during the panel. But now to move out of Disney World, because I think we've talked enough about Disney World. We just had its anniversary. It did not end well. There's plenty of more things that might happen, but I really think that they kind of were like, all right, that's a blunder. Let's keep moving on now. I think that Disneyland Paris is going to get some more focus in terms of its expansion to its Hollywood studios. I think that it really needs to actually cement itself as a park and not just getting that frozen land in the back, but actually getting something unique and new. And as much as Avengers Campus has like that new Avengers Flight Force ride, it's really just a reskin of Rock and Roller Coaster. So it's not the newest thing, even though it is something worthy of celebrating in Paris because they don't often get anything new. But yeah, until we get to D23, I don't know whether they will refocus on that on Paris, but I think that they're still working on it. As Disney now has like full ownership of Disneyland Paris, they need to continue to invest in it to continue to grow it, as it hasn't really seen that development for a long time.
Yeah, didn't they announce that like whole expansion to that park like 5 years ago? Probably less than that.
Yeah,
but
Less than that, I think. I don't
feels
know.
like
Time
5
is
years.
weird.
It's been a long time. And that Galaxy's Edge, the rumors of that Galaxy's Edge not happening are probably true. I mean, literally
Yeah.
the park. Maddie, are you back? Are you gone?
Hi, you guys. I can hear
There we
you.
go.
Okay.
Maddie is back.
Well, that's the third time. Third time's the charm.
It's
I'm
a trap.
starting a drinking game with this. Jesus.
Oh no.
That's so weird. Well, maybe I have to close like a program. I'll close Chrome. Maybe that will help. Okay. Chrome is closed.
Are you live again?
Yeah, we've been live.
Oh.
Yeah. Jeremy.
Wait, this is live?
I hope we're live. Anybody catch that?
Basically, Disneyland Paris. I didn't even think about talking about Disneyland Paris. That's interesting. But yeah, it's true. There are a lot of announcements that have happened regarding Disneyland Paris. So yeah, I do think we'll get more details regarding those as well. And yeah, but also, wasn't the Disneyland Paris Galaxy's Edge never going to be like Galaxy's Edge? It was going to be like a sample of Galaxy's Edge, like a taste of Galaxy's
It was
Edge
always
kind of thing.
supposed to be like half of it, and then the other half would be like phase 2. Like it could eventually happen.
Got
but it's all blurry, and who knows really what was going to go in there. It was very vague concept art at the time.
Right.
Avengers Campus is the only thing that's proven to actually exist, and we will see what happens from there.
Yeah.
They still have an expansion slot for Avengers Campus there, where they could put the Avengers e-ticket if they ever build one.
If they decide to.
If they decide to, where the Lights, Motors, Action Arena is, they can put that in there. But that's Disneyland Paris. I don't think Hong Kong's going to see any announcements. It still has its Frozen Land opening. They might do a highlight reel where they're like, look at all the Frozen stuff we're doing, and then that's it. Because I think that the big focus is going to be back on Disneyland this next year. So looking at Disneyland and actually talking about the park we want to talk about. Of course, they are currently, working on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and that's going to be a huge highlight of the overall panel itself. I am sure that they're going to pull out, here, look at the animatronics, look at the concept art for the scenes. Like, I think they're going to go all out with that to try and make it a big deal. I wouldn't be surprised if you even saw some things revealed earlier on in the convention because of the actual exhibit itself on the convention floor. So we'll see how that goes with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. They have currently Tarzan's Treehouse, which is no longer going to be Tarzan's Treehouse, and we don't know what it's going to be.
It's being
Could
held
be Encanto.
hostage.
Who knows?
There's about Encanto,
Yeah.
which I'm hoping it will be, because I think it would work really well.
If it is Encanto, I would expect them to talk about both Encanto at Disneyland and say, hey, we're doing this treehouse, and then say, hey, there's something else coming in the future.
Ooh.
That's what I would expect. Is like, use that as in a moment to celebrate Encanto as a film and say, hey, we're doing a lot with this park and with Colombian culture and giving it a spotlight. And, we have plans for it in the future. And that would kind of be that part of the panel. Like, I think they would do both at the same time. But I think that the big end of the convention, or at the end of the panel itself, that's going to be the sort of, Apple one more thing is going to be, well, let's look back at Tomorrowland and see what we can do here and actually develop something. As most of us who are interested in themed entertainment have seen, Scott Trowbridge teased on Twitter something involving Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
It is very much, possible that we will see a similar sort of Epcot, big, vague concept art. We don't know what's going to happen in Tomorrowland. There are plenty of rumors flying around. Whether those rumors will prove to be true or false, who knows? If you haven't seen the Lightyear film already, as much as that might not be used as an IP for the land itself, I still think that there could be some similarities, especially because that's what's, in the mind of Imagineers at the time, that's the IP they have. I really think that they, if they are going to use intellectual property and replace what they have currently, look at Big Hero 6, look at WALL-E, look at some of these IPs that actually aesthetically, like you look at the design, the language is similar between all of these different things. You look at the robots in Lightyear, very similar to WALL-E. I mean, it's a Pixar film, but it's the design department there's a flow there that you could see both of those things exist simultaneously in a Tomorrowland, and it could make sense. I mean, even having Lightyear as a character at the bottom of Space Mountain, it reminds us of the old spaceman they used to have in 1955, when they opened Tomorrowland. So you're looking at these things that might be a modern interpretation of the past, iterations of Tomorrowland, but that they're building something new that kids and adults alike can relate to today. So we'll see how that goes, but that's the biggest prediction I would have for D23, is that we will see a new Tomorrowland announced, and that we will sort of have hope that will become something.
Okay.
I agree. Yeah, I think we'll see blue sky, a lot of blue sky art for a new Tomorrowland, but very vague, very vague. I'd be shocked if they settled on IP for it, because for better or for worse, we know the strategy of the department is they have to draw from a franchise to do stuff. As much as we'd love to all see an original Tomorrowland, it's not going to be the case. This doesn't mean it's not going to be well designed. It will be well designed. I trust Scott Trowbridge, if he is at the helm of this, to deliver a good new Tomorrowland. But yeah, I think it'll be exciting to see what art they what's in their minds in this early stage.
I could see, I mean, I don't want to say it. I could see a people mover fitting into this very well.
I could.
But mostly from the standpoint of, if you are going to go like Lightyear, Space Mountain, bring IPs into everything in Tomorrowland, similar to how they've done with Epcot, where they've based a lot of the new attractions off of IPs, inspired by IPs, they have an aesthetic there that is still calling out towards fans of the past. And I feel like a people mover would help.
You guys. This is so embarrassing. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, we're good. We're back.
Right.
But anyway, I think a people mover would help cut some of the frustration that fans who don't like IPs would feel, because it's just a classic piece of Disneyland. You can't, even if you integrate IPs with it, it's still the people mover,
I'll take Lightyear Mover over Lightyear Mountain any day of the year.
I mean, I will say that the composer of the film and the composer of the ride are the same person.
I know.
I could see them.
That's
them
true.
going in, and they're, even if they did Lightyear for Space Mountain, it would be such a light overlay to what already exists. It would purely be set up. It would purely be building that whole, we're going on a mission, we need to reach light speed. Like,
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, he can't. He rejects the intellectual property.
I can't do it.
I'll say, I think that if they were to do Lightyear, Space Mountain, Jeremy, you'd come out of it thinking they've done worse.
Yep.
Oh, I know. I went on Hyperspace Mountain recently, and I was like, I'll take it, but I really wanted to go on Space Mountain right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, Jeremy, have you seen Lightyear?
I saw it in theaters. I was the one.
Good. I did not watch it in theaters. I'll just wait. I'll just wait those 45 days. It's not that long, and there it
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just the moment that he pulls out the AI and blows into it like it's a cartridge, and
Right.
like plugs it back in. I'm like,
Right.
everything was tactile in the film. I'm not saying that it's a great, the greatest movie of all time or anything like that. No, I was entertained. But I think that it's the whole thing of having that tactile, you could touch everything, you could see how it could work. And that's a Tomorrowland I would want to see, where I can imagine, oh, that's functional. It might be technology that, we couldn't dream of, but it's the type of thing that, oh, this is something that makes sense. And it is a little retro, and it is still futuristic, and it exists in that realm where it has what I'm looking for in terms of a view on the future.
What was interesting about the movie, I don't know if it was to its detriment or not, but I could kind of see them testing, all right, is this going to work for Tomorrowland, or are we going to overlay Mission Space? Because literally it was Mission Space, like the whole mission, the setup, the slingshot around. I was like,
literally the spaceship.
They're testing literally the spaceship. So I was like, oh, so they're testing whether it's going to be Lightyear Mountain or whether it's going to be Mission Lightyear. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. Keep going.
No matter what, all I'm asking for is that Tomorrowland will be like an actual place and be cohesive, rather than just a jumble of different IP and aesthetic. They're like, I want at least Tomorrowland to feel like, hey, these things can live next to each other and coexist. And, if Baymax is over here and Wall-E is over here, it's less of a problem. Like, these aesthetics don't clash like, Buzz Lightyear as a toy next to Star Tours does.
Right.
Those are two very different aesthetics. If you get rid of Buzz Lightyear as a toy, but you still keep Buzz Lightyear in the land, I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
But it's having a place that, oh, these things work together. That Tomorrowland is a place that you can go to, that you can build a backstory similar to like the SEA. You can build its own existing, sort of backstory, the reason that everything is coexisting in this space, and then grow stories out of it.
What if we got our own Mission Space, but themed to Lightyear, and replaced Pizza Port, which was where Flight to the Moon was? I mean, there could be that kind of callback, but that now we're overreaching.
Now we're going beyond just
Jeremy,
now
you're just making stuff up now.
I saw that idea forming in your head in real time.
I made that up right now, but that's what this is about.
He just doesn't want them to take over space. He just wants them to leave space alone.
I know. I leave Space Mountain alone. Leave it alone. It's a classic.
This is all he's talked about since he's seen the movie too.
That's true.
Really?
I'm petrified. Terrified.
Yeah.
I have
do it.
night terrors.
I think it's too late.
I have night terrors about this. I agree with you, though. I know the box office was not great, but I keep saying I'm going all in. If I had to bet money, I'm betting all my money, whatever's in my checking account right now, that we're going to have Lightyear Mountain. And I don't want that to be the case.
Jeremy, you're going to be bankrupt by the time this happens.
I'm already bankrupt. I got nothing left to lose.
Well, why did you bet nothing then?
I don't know.
All right.
Well, those would be my predictions for D23. That's what it is. That's what I'm hoping for. If I don't get Tomorrowland, I will just be disappointed once again, and that's a familiar feeling. Every D23, I want Tomorrowland. Every D23. But when it must happen, and that's the real question: is it time yet?
I think it's time.
Has the infrastructure crumbled enough that we need a new Tomorrowland?
It's pretty bad out there.
Pretty bad.
Yeah,
it is.
Bad in
it is.
Tomorrowland
And having a revitalized Tomorrowland with new attractions and new long form attractions will fix a lot of the capacity problem in the park as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, who knows? If they announce it in time, they might have it ready by the 70th anniversary of Disneyland.
That's true. That's true.
Oh.
They've already started work. It's going to be ready today. Imagine.
The surprise opening. You peel back the facade.
Do you think, just one last question, do you think potentially there could be a Magic Key announcement at D23 to put everyone at ease?
No, I don't think that there will be any sort of announcement in regards to Magic Key until the lawsuit is settled.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
agree.
that it's actually going to go all the way like to court and go all the way through that process. I think Disney is going to settle with those who have sued, and they are going to, either they are just going to change the legal wording of Magic Key and make it very clear that you are buying into a different system that has not blockout dates will not be used as a phrase, because it was what got them in trouble, was saying you can come in whenever you want, you just need to make reservations.
And also specifying how they measure capacity, that they measure capacity differently under the Magic Key program than general capacity.
Because
that was also
want
an
to
issue.
give any of those numbers, and that's the thing, is they don't want those numbers to be public. So for them, settling is their option. Now, whether there will be a settlement is another question entirely. I could also see them not having a settlement and just that all falling through. But that's all completely other discussion. I don't expect them to address that at D23. I really think that they're going to try and be hopeful. They're going to try and look at the future that we have here. I think that it's a way of them having something that's an optimistic view on where they're going. They have dumped a lot of investment to Disney Plus, and not so much into the parks. And I think that there are plenty of investors who have voiced that, sort of, hey, the parks are where you're making a lot of money right now. So why don't you put some money into them? You're making a lot of money out of the parks, but you're not putting that money back into the parks. And so the question is, when are you going to do so? And with what? What's going to be the big draw? And so you have to look at what's popular right now. What's going to be the thing that's going to work? What's going to click? What's going to bring people in? Even when you're looking at Tomorrowland and Lightyear might not be the most popular thing, but Tomorrowland, saying that you're building a new Tomorrowland, no matter what the IP is in it, will still draw people.
It's almost like a new, original, unique Tomorrowland could still draw people with IPs or without IPs.
Doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Well, that felt good to have this conversation. I feel back in the saddle now. Haven't done that in a while. That was fun.
Jeremy, you're
now
quiet
you're never gonna do it again.
Now I'm never gonna do it again. Wow.
Well, we'll still do it after this for the next topic. I mean,
that's true.
Oh, I thought you meant alone.
Yeah, Jeremy, it's okay.
I'll talk to myself. I already do that anyway.
We'll all mute ourselves so you can just talk.
No.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, any final thoughts, you guys? D23 predictions. Jeremy got shot down by Freddy right away for his Magic Key freaking prediction.
Well, I didn't. I just had to think of something because I was going to talk about Lightyear Mountain, and
he doesn't want to talk about Lightyear Mountain.
But I don't want to talk
All he
about
wants to talk about.
Jeremy, you and I can talk about Lightyear Mountain later, okay?
Yeah, we'll talk about Lightyear Mountain.
We'll talk about Lightyear Mountain later.
Yeah.
I just want to say before I have to go, that it was a pleasure to be invited to come back and celebrate the podcast and everything that everyone has worked on. And Maddie, thank you for inviting me to come back. And congratulations on all of these years of doing this show and, sort of all of the friendships that have been built along the way. I met Mark Catape, who's watching this right now. I met Mark through the meetups that you would host in the parks. Mm-hmm. And so it's been great over the years to be able to meet other like-minded fans and have discussions and be invited on this. And so looking forward to everything that you work on in the future and, whatever comes out of this. But so, yeah, thank you so much. And good luck.
Thank you, Freddie. We appreciate you coming back. We couldn't have not had you back to talk about D23 predictions, of course.
Yeah.
And now he's never coming back. None of us are coming back.
Never.
They're putting me in cold storage. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
we're freezing your head and putting it under pirates.
Right. Which is actually happening to Maddie after this.
No, we're putting her under the castle.
Oh, right.
Time capsule. Gets
Yeah.
the time capsule.
Yeah.
That's what's under there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up our first topic. Thank you once again, Mr. Freddie, for joining us on the show. And now we're going to cut to a video from Mark, actually. Freddie, this is a great segue.
Hey,
Mark TASG.
Segue.
Yeah.
Natural segue. That's great.
We're back in the saddle, you guys. We got this. But yeah, Mark TASG vlogs and more, who's in chat. We're gonna switch to his video, and then we're gonna get into our second and final topic of the day. So yeah, enjoy Mark.
I've been a fan of Mountaineer Productions since the beginning.
That's the wrong video.
that's not Mark.
That's not Mark.
Not Mark.
That's not Mark, you guys. Okay. Well, we're gonna get to Brittany's video then. That's okay. Brittany is gonna be showing her video here, so saying goodbye
Sorry,
to
Mark.
Freddie again. Mark, we'll get to you after this. I swear, I promise. Don't worry. Okay, here we go.
I've been a fan of Mountaineer Productions since the beginning. I remember discovering the video about the Western River expedition about 4 years ago and just being completely hooked. Video after video kept coming out, and every single one was stunning and detailed, to the point where I was like, I need to thank the creator for the amount of detail that gets put into every single video and the amount of joy that it's bringing me. And ultimately, it like sparked a friendship between us, Maddie, and I am so grateful for that because I can't imagine my life without you. So thank you for allowing me to say goodbye to Mountaineer Productions, and I just want to let you know that I'm so proud of everything that you've done for this channel, and I can't wait to see what's next. Love you. Love you.
Very professionally produced.
That was
there.
not Mark, so sorry for that. I could have sworn I had Mark's freaking video queued next. But yeah, that was Brittany, who was on the show twice, I believe, in the early days of the show. But yeah, Nate, your videos, I have to fix your video really quick.
Yeah. I know.
He's kind of off center, but that's okay. Oh.
All a little.
And now he's off
Off-center.
center the other way. You guys, it's
Wait,
been
if I like, nope, they're okay. I was gonna say I could put like half my face and then it would have lined up, but
It's been a long time since we've done this. I'm sure you could tell we're really, or I'm the only production, so I'm really rusty, but we got it going and we're back, you guys. Yeah, I guess it's time to get into our second and final.
Now it's time to get emotional.
God. Okay. Our second and final topic. Very excited to have this little discussion with two of my favorite people here. Yeah. Who wants to introduce this segment? I guess I should, since it's my channel.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
think so?
I
Okay.
think so.
Okay.
In fact, the first note here says why I made the channel, so I think you have to start this anyway.
Okay, that's true.
So,
I have to start it. All right. Yeah, so I guess for our second and final topic ever on the show, we're going to be sort of like reminiscing about like the history of the channel. We're going to like go through a lot of like little mini topics here, like why I made the channel, why Jeremy and Nate joined. The evolution of Historyland is something that we're going to talk about. Very excited. And then we're going to get into, discussing Project X, if you guys remember that from back in, I don't even remember when that was, Jeremy, back in the day.
announced it in 2019, late 2019, and started working on it in early quarantine and COVID, and before we decided to end our lives.
Before I decided, by the way.
True.
We'll get into that. And then finally, we're going to get into, that part of the discussion, why I decided to, stop making videos on the channel. And then maybe get into the future of the channel that doesn't necessarily have things to do with, like, the three of us being on camera, making, like, scripted videos. But, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. Avery said November 2019. You know what? We have to do voicemails, you guys. We have not gone through any voicemails.
Should we hit the voicemails
Do we want to
now?
run? Let's hit some voicemails.
I'd love to listen to a voicemail.
Yeah, let's listen to this very first voicemail. This is from Mickey Mouse, actually, I think.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm just kidding. I won't play that one.
You can play it if you want to.
Oh boy, Maddie, I can't do this. I'm sorry. This really, I can't sustain it. My voice is going. This is actually my real voice. This is Mickey Mouse talking to you. This is my real voice. Congratulations on the show. It was a pleasure. And I'm glad you're stopping it before I had to send a cease and desist.
Wow.
Wow,
It's such a good Mickey.
Mickey sounds different, you guys.
Yeah. Mickey. That's Mickey. That's the real Mickey. That's the Mickey that I know intimately.
Oh, wait.
Intimately. Okay, let's get to a voicemail then. A new voicemail.
No, yeah, we do have like actual voicemails to get here. That was just like a prank, Jeremy does his little pranks. But we actually have a voicemail from Bob Chapstick himself, so I'm very excited to get into this voicemail. Let's take a listen and see what Bob Chapstick has to say, you guys.
Hi, Bob Chapstick here. A little birdie told me it was the last ever Matterhorn Monday, so I marked my calendar just so I could call in and first give a tremendous thank you to all of you for voting me back into the good graces of the Disney board and giving me another shot transforming Disney into the company you know and love today. In conclusion, I'd like to give a quick thanks to Maddie and friends for the quality content over the years and for being such great loyal supporters of mine and for giving me somewhere to vent my frustrations and for the occasional insider trading. Insider secrets. Thank you to all of your positive feedback of how well I've been doing. Always gives me the warm fuzzies every week. Maybe we'll split an appetizer and a drink at a Rainforest Cafe.
Please insert 25 cents to continue this call.
Oh, okay. I have it somewhere. Okay, there you go. Where was I? Maybe we'll split an appetizer and a drink at a Rainforest Cafe sometime. The Three Caballeros would always call ourselves. Anyway, it's been great. See you at the next one. Toodaloo. Chapstick out.
Chapstick out. Thank you, Bob.
Chapstick out. Actually,
you, Bob.
Chapstick's in for another
Technically,
years.
he is in. Well, he's out of the voicemail. That's what he meant, Jeremy.
That's true. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, well, we have another voicemail.
I love how you said, let's go to a real voicemail now, and you... Anyway.
Hey, that was a real voicemail.
That was a real
Obviously.
voicemail.
That was a real voicemail.
Sincere.
That was a real voicemail.
But, yeah, we do have another one from Matthew Trona. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Let's get into what he has to say.
Hi, Matthew Serrano here. Just wanted to say farewell to a cute little show. Sad to see it go. And also tell Freddie I said hi. Enjoy your last recording, everyone.
Crap, we forgot. We didn't tell Freddie. Matthew Trona
I'm sure
says
he
hi.
still heard.
I saw Matthew Serrano in the chat earlier, but I don't know.
I think that's a
if he's
Wait, was that him?
Yeah,
that was him.
Oh, okay. Well, the transcription said Trona.
The transcription's always going to be wrong.
Well,
but keep reading them, please.
Okay,
but keep reading.
Okay, well, we have another voicemail from someone who did not provide a name, but we can still listen to it.
I think that they're going to build a Spider-Man ride at Disney California.
Wait, that's Nate. Or was it?
Don't accidentally play another one that might be in there.
Okay. All right, we do have another one, a real one, not from us to listen to.
Hello, Matterhorn crew.
yeah.
I don't know if you all remember me, but I was very active early on in your channel, and
it does
the
have a
theme
name.
park team. Early on in the channel, I felt very special, as you always talked about my comments. Although I took a step back from interactions, listening to your channel for the last 4 years was a total treat. Thank you for being such a personal Disney outlet.
Save some of the others to the end. We don't have
We'll
to go through all of
interrupt
them at
ourselves
once.
and play some
Yeah.
more voicemails. But let's get to the juice, the
Yeah,
juicy.
but before, I just want to say 575-386-5491 is the voicemail number. If you guys would like to call in, say your favorite memories from the channel, your favorite memories from the podcast, favorite Historyland, whatever. It can be whatever. And you'll
And
get to
ask
hear...
us any questions your heart and, well, your brain wants you to ask.
Yeah.
Wouldn't really be your heart.
And you'll get to hear Jeremy's silly little voicemail line that he did.
It's really good.
What? Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
What?
Well.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess we can get into our main topic, history of the channel. Yeah, you guys, this is a channel named Mountaineer Productions. As you can see here, the picture established 2017, which was 5 years ago. Yeah, 5 years. That's a very long past of like why I originally wanted to like make the channel. But I always had been a fan of like the Disney history videos. I remember the first ever like YouTube videos that introduced me to like Disneyland and like the parks and stuff. Justin Scarred was like one of them. And I remember very vividly this channel, Magic Journeys. I love Magic Journeys. I remember them doing a history video of like Tomorrowland, and the main guy went into the Innoventions building and was just like looking at the Xboxes that they had in there. Throwback from them. But yeah, I guess back in like around that time in like 2017, like there weren't really a lot of like Disney history like channels. Like I guess sort of like later on the whole medium went and had like a boom on YouTube, but yeah, like those videos, the history videos were in their infancy. And I do remember talking about this at some point. I felt like I had a lot to offer when it came to like not just like, well, I knew that like writing scripts was always hard, so I knew that like that would like not be the strongest element of the videos, but I knew that like I had a lot of experience with like video editing and like production that could put a new twist on like the whole Disney history genre. And like the word history, like it reminds, at least for me, like the VHS style like fit in really like almost automatically with that kind of like thinking, like the history of Disneyland, history of all that stuff. And I thought it looked really nice, to be honest. And no one had really done like those retro like 80s like style throwback like visually for like the Disney videos, especially with like the commercials playing in between. Do you guys remember? I would put the commercials between Historyland. No one did that, and then once I started doing that, I saw other people start to do that. So it's my influence. Just kidding. Not just kidding, but yeah, so I guess like basically like to wrap up that like why I made the channel, I knew I had enough experience to make myself stand out. And obviously like good God, watching those videos back, like my voice was like I was so bad at like narrating like at the very beginning. I don't know how you guys put up with me back then, but you know, we got better thankfully as time went on. Yeah, so that's the history why I started the channel. I made a lot of Historyland videos by myself before Jeremy came, which we're gonna talk about very shortly. Yeah, I guess Jeremy, why don't you get into how did you join the channel, Jeremy, and end up writing all of my silly little videos?
Silly little videos. They were silly, weren't they?
Yeah, and they were definitely little at the time.
Yeah. So yeah, going back to 2017, it's really interesting because who we have come to know as the kind of Disney YouTubers all kind of started around the same time. It was like 2016, 2017 is when the kind of documentary format, I think, started to take off. But I never really got into any of them, and I didn't really know why, because I love Disney and I love Disney history, especially Disney, the history portion of it. And there wasn't really a concept that grabbed me. A lot of the videos were okay edited, just kind of talking at people. This is the facts. This is the general history. Blah, da, 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 da. And I started seeing in my, related videos, column, if you will, Historyland, Historyland, Historyland. I was like, I think there was one night where I was like, ooh, I think it was maybe it was the Circle Vision video. I don't know, but there was one specifically where I was like, ooh, I don't see people doing videos about that. And so I clicked it, and if you watch the video now, it's like, what? but but I remember being like, I don't see people doing videos on the history of like Circle Vision, and the aesthetic that Maddie was just describing that she felt she could contribute to is what drew me in, because now there was a concept and there was a feeling, and it was capturing a feeling of like that vintage 80s look and feel, old school Disney Channel, early Disney Channel, and also early VHS Disney. And it captured an essence of why I like Disney, while covering interesting topics on Disney history. On top of the commercials, I know it confused a lot of people, but I got it. I got it right. I remember there was a debate like in those early days, like on the Patreon only channel on Discord.
Jeremy
being
was
like,
a patron before he
everyone
started.
Yeah. Yes.
Jeremy
so
gave
basically,
me
I was.
money.
I did. For a long time actually,
and I love you for it.
And the commercials I think drew me in almost right away because I knew exactly what she was going for, and I loved it, and it was so unique. No one else was doing it, and it was kind of like, finally, there's someone kind of churning out content that I actually like. So I immediately joined the Patreon like right away, because I was like, I want to be involved in this community. Not necessarily like I want to write, whatever I ended up doing. But Autumn, I've bought you plushies. Sorry. Anyway, I joined the Patreon, and the community was really tight knit, and Maddie was really involved in the community. Like, it didn't really feel like, oh my God, Maddie replied. It didn't really feel like that dynamic that a lot of the other, I think, channels were kind of having a relationship with. It was really a community that was there, and there wasn't really this hierarchy. And we were just kind of free to like talk about our opinions on Disney and we just talk about Disney and talk about Disney history. And I guess Maddie, at one point, there was another writer who was writing Historyland at the time.
That's the name he went by.
So Maddie was like, I don't know, Maddie DM'd me and was like, oh, you know what? I did like the highest tier of the Patreon, and with that tier, I was able to do a voiceover for the commercial breaks.
Yeah.
Never got that.
Yeah. And I think by the time you did, that was a very early thing. And I think if you watch some of the earlier episodes of Historyland, you can hear my voice kind of pop up there. That's
definitely
yeah. And so I guess that was kind of my door in, was just I went full out on the Patreon. And then I was really active on the Discord, and eventually Maddie DM'd me and was like, hey, would you want to maybe co-write or write an episode of Historyland? And I was like, yes, I'd love to do that. And the very first episode I wrote for Historyland, I believe it came out sometime in May 2018. And if you watch the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea video, that's my very first work for history. The structure was still very old school. We would go into a Google Doc and we would basically just write an essay that Maddie would read, and I would do it in a night. It was very bare bones. But I guess Maddie really liked the way that I started to structure the episode, and we really inspired each other. And I think with each episode we did moving on, we just wanted to experiment more and more with the form, and also just what we felt this like what we could contribute to this medium that no one else was doing. And the other writer, I think, wanted to go in a different direction. I think whereas Maddie and I really wanted to write a Pirates of the Caribbean episode, he wanted to do Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters. And so I think we were like, we went in a different direction. But nothing wrong with that. I understood that logic because he was adamant.
Lightyear video.
Oh, you did? Oh, it happened at the same time or something like that. Yeah.
I remember you guys alternated every other week writing an episode.
Yeah. And this is when we were able to do them once a week. But once I started working on Pirates of the Caribbean, it was the first time I was like, Maddie, I think I need another week. And so then I think we started to do this every other week thing. But like going from Pirates to Space Mountain to Indiana Jones, like we just inspired each other and grew. And anyway, we'll talk about the evolution of Historyland later. But
yeah, that's
basically the reason why I joined is because Maddie was being inventive, experimental, and I think actually stood out from the rest of the pack because she added an element of having an experience of what Disney feels like for all of us that I think other content creators, even to this day, I don't think fully embrace that. Anyway, we'll talk more about that later.
We have a lot to talk about, you guys, like a lot to talk about. So that's Jeremy's history of involvement. Nate, how did we meet? I remember we met like on Discord, and one of my first messages to you was like, "Is your name really Matthew?"
Yeah. 2018, I joined your Discord, and that was the first thing you asked me, and I think I told you yes.
You said no.
I think no. Did I say no? I should have said yes. But after that, just kind of being part of the community, I joined the Patreon. Similar story to Jeremy, but not as romantic, not as closely involved. I was also caught really by the fact that what you two were doing specifically together was more like conceptual, more tangible, I guess, to me than what other channels were doing. It was more creative. It was something I wanted to be a part of. I think it was 2020 when I started writing. I think you needed somebody to do news from the peak, like on short notice.
During quarantine, like I was kind of like, oh, this is a cool opportunity to like really give the show more, like the podcast, like we can actually write out what we want to say. And so I think we brought you on board to like help out select articles and like write the brief little things we would read for stuff. Yeah.
So that was my job with it, but I'd been around a lot longer than that.
Oh yeah.
In the Discord, in the Patreon chat,
Discord,
just in like DMs with each other. Yeah. But I loved writing the podcast, and I don't really miss it. I wouldn't say I miss it. It was like a little bit extra homework every
You don't either. I think I went a little too hard.
Yeah, I know towards the end of it you were having
I would write really like dissertations
together. Yeah. I was like, dude, I've got a paper to write. Like one time I had a meeting with a professor. I remember having a meeting with a professor and being like, I have to leave because I have to write a podcast about Disney. So I can't stay.
Aw.
So yeah.
I hope you passed the class, Nate.
Yeah, I passed the class.
Okay, I feel bad.
No, it's my fault. It wouldn't be you, Maddie. That was all me.
But yeah, that's how I joined.
Yeah, Nate's here, Jeremy's here, and I'm here. That's like the core. Like the three of us were like the core of like the whole channel.
This was. Yeah, we never really had like a team, which is I think why we overwhelmed ourselves because, well, we'll get into what we were planning for the channel, and you'll see why we were kind of like,
I think not having a team was very key, though.
Yeah,
I do too.
Again, we'll talk about it.
Maddie, yeah, we will. Maddie and I had talked about bringing on a team of researchers and writers that I could work with, just so we could move work faster. But that never ended up happening.
I always had the feeling that if we kept going with Historyland, I'd end up more towards that way too. not to like put myself
I would have put
in
you
the
through
creative
a trial.
process.
No.
Yeah, no, but like I mean, with what I'm working towards in school, it just fits, right?
Yeah.
I figured eventually that would be just to get another hand on Historyland.
Yeah, which I guess is a good segue to talk about the
Historyland.
premiere series on the channel.
You know, people really did like Historyland at the very beginning too. I remember People Mover episode. People really like that one. But yeah, I guess the evolution of Historyland is what I have this mini topic titled. Yeah, so I guess Historyland started as a way for me to tell stories of my favorite. Well, I guess like it started out as just talking about like the old rides that didn't exist anymore. Because that was like the big thing back then, you know, talking about like the People Mover and like talking about Adventures Through Inner Space, and all those like defunct rides. Yeah, I never really thought of them as being like these long form like videos which is like what we ended up doing. Did my Discord freaking crash again? Hi.
Hi.
I thought
at the end of a sentence.
Yeah.
Okay, true. No, I thought
which is what we end. What?
Sorry, I was gonna say I thought it only did that if I put your guys' cameras full screen, but I guess not. So I guess now I can put your guys' cameras as full screen. Well, anyways, what was I saying? I
don't even know.
Well, I was talking about. Oh my god. Okay, wait. I'm gonna
Overwatch has ruined your computer.
No, okay, I'm gonna close Discord fully and then open it back up. Oh my god. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? That has never happened to me in the 4 years of doing this show. This has never happened. Okay, we're back. Okay, we're back. Hello, everybody.
I feel like no one's watching anymore anyway.
It's okay.
Everyone hates you.
Sam said he's hacking.
You couldn't even keep the podcast up.
Are you live again?
No, yeah, it's just Discord that's crashing. It's been live.
Oh, so it's been live. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're back.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I was talking about...
Okay, let's just dive in. Okay. Evolution Historyland. Let's go.
Yeah, so
talk about Volume 1.
Yeah, I guess
jump in.
Volume 1 was like the videos that I was making by myself, you know. And I never really even thought. Okay, well, I have this in my notes. There is like no reason behind like having a Volume 1 and Volume 2. Like I just thought it sounded cool, so I did it.
Yeah. Yeah, I literally remember I think I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for you, but I think it was around the same time Defunctland was like, "Ooh, we're gonna do like a season 2," and I think you were like, "Oh, that's a cool idea." And then you made it. And because Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was coming out, you did Historyland Volume 2. But you know what? It worked really well.
Yeah, and I made some updated graphics for the whole.
Yeah, show the Volume 1 graphic.
Well, that was the
Look
banner.
at that.
And this that I did. Very cute. The very first
and then
Historyland, and then moving to Volume 2. Pretty
Maddie
fancy.
doesn't remember this, but she was so proud of that design.
It's like cooler. It's just way cooler. I remember watching the trailer for Volume 2 and being so excited. I don't know why. I was just so excited. Yeah.
I think the 20,000 Leagues video was the first of Volume 2, so it was really the first step into a great big beautiful tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah, great big beautiful tomorrow. But yeah, so like there was like really no reason for me to like separate just pure aesthetics, and like I wanted to like do a refresh of like the graphics and stuff, so that's one of the reasons. Well, I guess that's like the reason why I did like Volume 1 and Volume 2. But then volume 3 is when like we really started to like take things in a whole different direction, because volume 1
Yeah.
and volume 2 were like very similar, like literally exactly the same. Although like towards the end, Jeremy came in and started like writing some of the episodes, so like those parts were different. But into volume 3 is when we full went on with Jeremy being the
Volume 3 is like I
writer.
started to write them as scripts with like aesthetic in mind, music in mind. And yeah, we just started making more experimental. We just got more experimental.
Yeah, that's a good word to use, experimental.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just like I didn't want to make. Well, I was also tired of like just making like the lazy like 15 minutes, the
Yeah.
same old scripts, the same old stuff. That just got boring, and I really wanted to do something else with the show.
Yeah. And I think what we started to explore with volume 3 was, again, something that kind of stood out from all the other stuff is we weren't necessarily we were interested in telling the history of whatever attraction or topic we were covering. But at the end of the day, our goal was to capture our emotional connection to whatever we were covering, to really capture the essence of Space Mountain, or the essence, the feeling of it, a little more abstract. And we started to play with how we can capture that with no narration at all. Sometimes we would have these kind of minute to 2 minute montages where we would just let music and Maddie's great motion graphics and editing kind of tell the history kind of telepathically in a way. And so we really got interested in really capturing the essence of the thing and not just a fact and trivia list.
I think you really can tell how you achieved that between the graphics. How the other two graphics are Disneyland, like this Disneyland sign, the front sign of Disneyland.
Yeah.
But then for volume 3, you kind of, it's like World of Color.
Yeah.
The emotional things that you don't associate directly with Disneyland always, that it was more, you were trying to capture the feeling of watching like a TV show more so than a YouTube video.
Yeah.
I love those commercials.
Yeah, I did fight to keep them. Jeremy didn't fight with me, but the comments did.
I was on your side. I thought, look, there was a period where I kind of understood because we got rid of the stay tuned. We just went to a random commercial, and I understood people's criticism being like, that doesn't make any sense. But the minute we went back to it being like, this is a channel, this is a channel, and so we're going to commercial break. I think it worked. I don't care what people have to say about it.
Yeah, I do too. I was gonna say something that I thought of while you were talking, but I can't remember. Oh yeah, one of my big inspirations was like the retro Disney Channel, like style. That's like what the logo of the whole channel like is now. Like it's a parody of like the old like 80s Disney Channel logo. So of course like I wanted to have the commercials and stuff. But Jeremy, answer me this. What is Project X?
Yes. Project X was, so we were so inspired after the videos we were doing after volume 3, culminating in the very last episode, what turned out to be the last episode of Historyland, the Fantasyland episode. We really felt that we were cracking something, and we really felt we had a lot to say and a great collaboration going on to be able to feed off of each other. And we were just, I don't know, we were firing off at all cylinders. And so Project X was basically the next stage of the channel. We were going to develop multiple series on top of Historyland and on top of the podcast. And it was very ambitious. But
so ambitious, my God.
Very ambitious. And so ambitious that when I was pitching the idea of it to Maddie, for a video we were going to do that was going to describe the future of the channel, I was writing the video based off of the Walt's pitch of Epcot to, people. And so I had in the video, I described the Epcot map, the original map, as being a metaphor for how the channel would function with the different series interacting with each other. And so at first Maddie was like, I have no idea how to make how to make this map. But she pulled it off, and it's still one of my favorite things that she's done. But anyway, Project X was basically how the channel and its series would all interact with each other. So we'd have Historyland. We'd have a series called The Podcast. We'd have a series called Journey Through Animation, which we actually did start producing. Journey Through Animation is the paintbrush there. And then we also have Memory Voyage, which I'll talk about. But Journey Through Animation was a series. We put out a few episodes, actually, where Maddie and I had the crazy idea to go through and watch every single feature animation film from the Walt Disney Company.
Animated feature film.
Yes, animated feature film, starting with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and we'd go all the way to today. And I don't think we really cracked the formula for that yet. It basically was just another podcast where we would talk about a little bit of the history of the movie, but mostly ranking them and revisiting and reevaluating.
What was
them.
the list that we called the list of the videos? I can't remember.
The best Disney anime. I don't know. I don't have time to pull it up and figure it out. But that was that. And you can actually, I think, still watch a few of those episodes that we pulled. We had a nightmare doing. We were actually, during the height of quarantine, we were churning them out behind the scenes. Every week we would watch a movie, record the show. Watch a movie, record the show. We got all the way up to the package films, I think. But we had a nightmare trying to upload the Pinocchio video because for some reason the copyright bot loves Pinocchio, and it just became really hard to churn those out. But that was that. A little more ambitious was a series called Memory Voyage.
That's the one I was the most excited for, but then once I started trying to make it, I was like, that's just going to take so freaking long to do this.
Yeah, but basically there was one day Maddie was playing around with a simulated or emulated binaural 3D audio plugin or something, and was putting it together for Pirates of the Caribbean just for fun. And I think said ooh, this could be a really cool thing to do or something. And I was like, yeah. And then it kind of hit me to have this audio. First of all, we called this 3D process matter sound. And in the last couple episodes of Historyland, we would kind of play with 3D elements that never really worked, but we would call it matter sound and stuff like that.
We couldn't come up with a better name. None of us could come up with a better name.
I helped name it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we asked a lot of people. Everyone also helped name Memory Voyage, which I think was a great name that we landed on for that. Yeah. But it's called Memory Voyage because the final concept of, we never really explored it further, but it was going to be a narrated experience. It was going to start basically I wish I had the script that I wrote up so I could just kind of reference it, but it'd be kind of guided memory. In a way, it would start as narration, you first of all, it'd be welcome to Memory Voyage, blah, 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 blah. And today we're going to go back in time to August. It would be going, oh, that's right. Oh, God. We would be going back in time to the memory of an attraction or something. So it'd be we're going back in time to August 1967 to experience Pirates of the Caribbean.
Jeremy, I found the script, by the way.
Oh, yeah. And so it would start as an audio adventure in a way. It'd be you were walking down Main Street, USA on a fall day, and you'd kind of hear the sounds start to come in, and the narration would build up to the point of getting onto the attraction, and then once you're on the attraction, the narration would keep going, but slowly fade all the way out until you're just fully immersed in a ride through, basically audio, 3D audio,
sound, surround
3D
sounds.
audio. So if you closed your eyes, you'd be on Pirates of the Caribbean as it existed in 1967. we were really excited for that. But again, we didn't have the time or energy to continue it. But that was that. So if that made any sense at all.
I remember reading. I don't think you had a full script, but you had part of the script.
Yeah.
I remember reading it and thinking, no way, this isn't going to happen. Like, we can barely do the podcast every week. This is never going to happen. But I also remember thinking, this is the coolest thing.
Yeah, I thought you told me it was beautiful.
No, because it was my favorite of these. But I knew that it's not feasible.
It would take. I remember I sat down. I still have the premiere, like, what I tried to, like, edit everything on. It was gonna take so long to, like, get the sound just, like, lined up like perfectly. I have the script here.
It's hard to do.
I want to read from the script, actually.
Wait, I want to read from it.
You want to read?
Oh, you read from it.
Okay. Well, you can read it if you want. You can read if you want.
I don't have it. I don't have it up though.
I'll send you a screenshot. I'll read it. It's
okay.
fine.
You read it. You read it.
Okay, so this comes in from. This is like. After, like, okay, so I'm just gonna read. Shot, black, nothingness, a black void of infinite possibility filled only by the eye of the beholder. And then it says narrator voiceover. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Memory Voyage, a sonic excursion through time presented by the Magic Candle Company.
We were entertaining the idea of having the Magic Candle Company sponsor it. We felt it was a good sponsor because it was like the sense, sense memory.
We were entertaining the idea of a lot of sponsors.
Yeah, we were. It was a really great, like, integration between the two if it could have happened. But presented by the Magic Candle Company. While on our voyage, I will guide your memory through the. No, Jeremy.
What, is there a horrible typo in there?
No, how do I pronounce this word?
I have it up in front of me.
Annals.
The annals of...
The annals, okay.
Yeah.
I just had to double check, you know. I will guide your memory through the annals of Disney Park. Of Disney Park history and experience lands and attractions from the past, present, and future. For a safe trip, please be sure to wear your best set of headphones. We wouldn't want you to be left behind. Now close your eyes, sit back in your chair, and let time slip as you journey with us. Oh my god. And let time slip as you journey with us on a
memory voyage.
I seriously cannot read. And let time slip as you journey with us now on a memory voyage. That was really hard to read.
Yes, you know, I have a way with words. And no, I don't know.
But yeah. Memory voyage.
Yeah, memory voyage is cool. And one last thing about Project X. We tried. One last thing with Project X is Historyland was gonna not get overhauled, but get a little more ambitious. I don't know if you have that other map of. Oh yeah, you probably do. You have the Imagineer Frontier stuff. So basically, Historyland was gonna try to attempt to tell a complete history of the Walt Disney Company by alternating through different, very much so like the original Disneyland TV show, where this week we're going to Frontierland, and it would be Davy Crockett. Next week would be Tomorrowland, and you'd watch one of the Ward Kimball, movies about space. So we were going to try to emulate that a little bit, and each week you'd go to a different land within Historyland, covering different aspects of Disney history, and it would alternate every week, so you'd get a non-linear approach to Disney history and then see how all those pieces interact. So one week you'd go, as you see up here, to the Imagineer Frontier, which would cover the history of the parks, and that would obviously start with the history of Disneyland. We also had the Animation Station, there's Destination Land, because that's up there. Destination, yeah,
so
Destination Land would cover. Wait, what was the? No, Imagineer Frontier. See, I'm forgetting now. Imagineer Frontier would actually be biographical documentaries on some of Disney's greatest artists. So really telling the story of Mark Davis or Ward Kimball, really delving into the artists that actually make Disney Disney. It's not just the story of Walt Disney; it's the story of all of these incredible artists collaborating with each other. So we would each week we would do it. Actually, be 3 parts per artist is what I had in mind, and I was already starting with Ubiworks for that to give you an idea. Anyway, the other one with Destination Land was up there. That was more of the history of the parks, more of what we were already kind of doing before with History Land, but going park wise. So we would do like a multi-part series of just covering Disneyland on its own, and eventually decide when to jump to Disney World. And I didn't figure that out yet, but that would be the history of the parks. Then we had Animation Station, which is the history of I don't think, whatever. Animation Station was the history of the movies, the movie studio, and more of the company as a whole. So each week you'd go to a different land in Historyland and experience a different topic within the realm of Disney history. So that was kind of the goal of where Historyland was headed. We actually started work on an episode, more script than putting visuals together. Yeah. But we were working on an episode that was covering starting with the Laugh-O-Grams, his Walt Disney and his team of very early animators in the very early age of animation that was forming in the Midwest of all places.
Hey, can I hate to do this, but can I use the restroom? It's been almost 2 hours. I'm so sorry, you guys.
No.
You guys, I'll be right back, okay? I'll be right back. I'm so sorry. You guys can
take your time. Jeremy and I can talk.
Well, we can't play voicemails from here, but if anyone has any questions, you can put it in the chat. If anyone is even watching this horrid, monstrous.
I mean, I love these graphics. I love looking.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's just like I get excited again thinking about it.
It's so great, but yeah, I get excited too because I'd come up with an idea or I'd write a little bit of a script and I'd hand it off to Maddie, and then she would just like do something like that. And yes, perfect. This is exactly.
Being able to watch you two do that was awesome because I would get to see the script and then I'd get to see the conversation and then I'd get to see her video, and just how it all came together. It always worked. There was never no one ever clashed heads. It just worked.
Yeah, and there were times where like I was trying to write a weird intro to talk about Bugs Land.
I actually kind of wanted to talk about Shanghai Disneyland.
Oh,
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about it?
I mean, the Zootopia, like what Freddie was saying earlier.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see how it'll turn out.
Okay.
What animals are going to show up there? I want to make it out to Shanghai Disneyland sometime.
I will say that I thought this was going to be a short show today, but it turns out it's not actually going to be.
I also thought it would be a short show.
Yeah. I really thought it was going to be a short show. If you could recite a movie script with Maddie for a vid, what one would you do? Well, I do know Maddie read the Goofy movie script one time, if anyone recalls that, right? Did that actually happen? If I were to recite a movie script, what would be a really weird movie script to recite with Maddie would be The Reluctant Dragon.
Why that one in particular?
I don't know. It'd just be weird because it's basically like scripted. It's just a weird movie.
I think that'd be great. That'd be great in like a year or two. If that just like ended up posted on the channel.
Yeah.
Well, we can work on it.
Yeah. It'll be like the 3-hour Ratatouille.
Oh, we could do a whole podcast just on memories from the Discord.
Yeah. 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 Wow.
Great
Great.
channel. I'm just happy to have been a part of it.
Yeah. Oh,
He's back!
thank goodness.
You guys, that was the closest call I've ever had.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
It's
I'm
okay.
back. What did I miss?
We had a really short conversation about.
Oh, I was just talking about how we thought this was going to be a short show, and it's not actually.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm out of breath. I had to run.
Where did we leave?
You guys,
Oh,
before we start, it's raining so hard at the range right now. So if the power goes out, just saying.
End of show.
Power goes out, that's how the channel ends.
There's no getting it back up.
Would be pretty epic. No, I was just describing what the next phase of Historyland was going to be.
Okay.
And I think I finished that. I think we can move on.
Yeah, well, we did post that little clip of like the first. Like, how long was that? Like 5 minutes or so?
3 minutes.
Something
like 3 minutes. No narration.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll post the unfinished script somewhere.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, check us
People
out
can
on Twitter
see.
after if you want to see more unreleased.
Sure.
And by us, I mean Jeremy.
Sure.
because
I'll put. I hope I can.
He's
find
the one
it.
who has the scripts.
I have the scripts too. I have all the ones that he sent me. I've never deleted anything.
Wow.
Still have it all. Right? It's taking up space.
So
on
we
my
play
hard
some.
drive.
Should we go through some voicemails before we continue?
Yeah, we can go through some voicemails. Gosh. I'm not able to pre-screen some of these, but this one is okay. I don't think this one has a name, but we can go ahead and play this one from this number that I'm not going to read aloud. Okay.
Yeah.
To say that I am emotional about the podcast ending is an understatement. I will definitely miss doing all these voicemails. To pick a favorite moment from the podcast, it's pretty hard, but the podcast has been incredible. I've been watching your channel since 2018. That's an incredibly long time. But favorite moments, let's see, Jeopardy. I love the Jeopardy where Bob plays and Offhand Disney. That's
Jeopardy.
a legendary moment of the podcast. You reciting the Goofy movie script. That couldn't be even more legendary. And,
I forgot about that.
For videos, I say your Project X teaser because even though Project X didn't happen, the time and effort you put into that one teaser, that one Project X announcement thing was incredible. It was, I've never seen anything like it before. Like, you should still be proud of yourself of everything you've done with this channel. I'm gonna miss it, but as one chapter ends, another one begins, and I know you have a great life ahead of you, and I'm rooting you on. Godspeed, and I'll definitely miss the channel.
So that was Avery, right? I'm pretty sure I
Of
recognize
course.
Avery's voice. Thank you, Avery, for the very kind words. He didn't say his name.
Really into the discussion that we had while
Yeah.
you were gone.
Wait, did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You'll never know.
I forgot that I actually read the entire Goofy movie script. I did that with a couple other people, I think. We all played characters. I don't remember why I did that, to be honest with you guys. I cannot remember. But we have another voicemail. This one with no name, also, that I can find right away at least. So let's take a listen here.
So I think when it comes to D23,
Oh, wait, that's Avery again.
I actually wouldn't mind
Oh,
doing
this
that
is
based
for
on
D23.
the change, because as long as the original doesn't change, and that is the one at Disney World, the Disney World Space Mountain, as old as it is, it's still a gem. It does a number to your body, and the Matterhorn does it this way, and that's okay. It's iconic for doing that, and of course you get to go inside it with the People Mover, and it's great. It's great. It doesn't need to change. Don't change things that don't need to be changed. I agree with Freddie. I doubt that we're going to see any Hong Kong this year. Kong is already busy. I believe Arendelle is going to be opening soon. It's a shame, though, that the Disney let the contract, at least regarding the land for the second park, go, so that China could build a quarantine facility, because if they really want people to come over to Hong Kong Disneyland because to increase the crowds, then building a second park will do the trick. Like maybe build another Disney Sea. The reason why they're doing all this expansion is to get more people to come. When Hong Kong Disneyland opened, it still is the park with the smallest attendance on opening day. It was just a giant Disneyland. Now it's much better. I think this is the time to open a second park. I think they should take the risk. I think that the people will come. As they say, if you build it, they will come.
Let's go over
Yeah, it's a shame that the land has went to a waste. I still look forward to the D23 panel, and I hope that Josh tomorrow announces with Maddie that there'll be free Snapple for everyone. Also, I'll still miss the podcast, Rip.
Okay, well, thank you, Avery, for the 2 voicemails. We love Avery. We're glad we love
Avery.
He came
Avery
back.
is a staple.
We could not play his voicemails.
I do want to say sorry if anyone's comments are getting deleted. I don't know why it's doing that. Especially, I don't know why it would have deleted Jared message. Totally, I don't understand why. But I saw what it was, which was a question for us. I don't know if you guys saw it.
I saw it, yeah. We can answer it if you want.
I'm not sure why it's deleting. I'm very sorry. It's the auto mod, for sure.
Yeah. Jared asked us what we thought about Lightning Lane, how it's affecting the parks. I don't want to get off on a whole conversation about that, but I don't think it's affecting the parks very well at all.
That we do not like Lightning Lane. We miss original Fast Pass, and that Lightning Lane is doing bad things for the parks. That's like basically the gist, right, you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next.
Okay, I think we might have one more. Yeah, we do have one more that we can listen to. This is from Gabriel. So thank you, Gabriel, for this.
Hi, my name is Gabriel, and I'm a professional video editor, and I've been a huge Disney fan ever since I was growing up. And one of the best things I remember of your channel is the early days of, Matterhorn Math. Your intros on your videos have been super, super cool in that VHS style. That's something that, personally to me, I actually wanted to replicate. And again, it is, such a thrill to see that a channel has been thriving to Historyland, as well as, a podcast. And I'm very, very sure that no matter what the future lies ahead, there's always going to be a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. So congratulations on an incredible journey. And I hope that is not the end, but a new beginning of something great.
Yeah, thank you, Gabriel, for the kind words. I missed the mute button there, but it's okay. That's okay. We do have one more that just came in, but we can probably save that till the end, because we do still have the videos to
that's true
to play through.
Well, are we gonna talk about the end of the channel and the future of the channel?
That's what we can get into now. Yeah, so for our final, well, I guess not the final, we still have 2 more like subtopics here to talk about the like history of the channel. And the second to last one here is why I decided to end the channel. And I have a few reasons. I have like 3 reasons to talk about. The main one, honestly, one of the main ones was just like burnout, because like this like coincides with like what we were talking about, like Project X. Like it was just us 3, making all these videos, and I had other responsibilities to take care of too. Well, I mean, I guess around during this time is when I started working here at like the range and like expanding my creative stuff towards all that, and like, because we didn't really get paid from making videos. I mean, like, we couldn't even hardly monetize like Historyland because the music that we used was like,
the music we wanted to use yeah, it would just get copyright claimed, and I didn't want to use really bad like the music became really integral to the experience that I would take the copyright claim over using bad royalty-free music.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure we could have like found a way. We could have like uploaded to like a website that we could have made, or like, I don't know. But that's besides the point. You know, Burnout, I did all the editing and graphics myself. And like that was like, not to like toot my own horn, but that was like most of like everything. I mean, not to like discredit like you guys, but like Jeremy does amazing work with the scripts. So did Nate with the helping out on the scripts and everything. But like, you know, it was just a lot of work for all of us. And yeah, just it really did like come down to like I wanted to expand my portfolio and stuff outside of like, you know, Disney stuff, because I've been doing that for 4 years at that point. And honestly, this is like the second reason. This is the reason I think a lot of people would agree with as well. COVID honestly killed a lot of my motivation to like just do stuff, like being cooped up and everything. And like around that time too is when I started feeling like I wanted to break out of like the whole Disney YouTube stuff, you know, and pursue like my other designs. I'm sure like these two can relate to like the whole COVID burning us out, at least at some point during the creative process.
Yeah, I definitely felt the burnout. But I think for me during at least the peak of COVID, when quarantine, when we were just sitting around, like I felt more determined, I think, to work on like Project X and stuff. But it was a lot. Like I was putting myself through a lot because I had created such a tight schedule to release like 9 episodes.
That's right.
Of
We had
Historyland.
done a full schedule to release these things. I forgot.
And I laid out exactly what topics were going to be covered, and I was putting myself through so much because to do the Laugh-O-Gram video, I was reading 3 books at the same time to get the most amount of research possible to get the script done. And I was writing the script, and I was already reading 2 books about Iwerks to start writing the script for the second episode. And there'd be 7 more after that. So it was not a sustainable model. And I wish I had maybe
just
presented
us 3. Especially
we don't have like a team. I don't have like a team of researchers. Like again, I was reading like I guess I was reading 5 books at the same time. Yeah.
Even if you were like, hey, if we like switched off episodes doing research or something, it still would not have been feasible.
Yeah.
Right.
It was just like so much.
The goal, because everyone else had adopted a model of I'm going to release a video every 6 months, whenever I want to. And I was like, this is a window of opportunity to have a weekly model that's high quality content. And we just burnt ourselves out. But I wish I had maybe presented it out to just be like, hey, let's do a video a year. Like, let's be chill about it. You know, people will still like it, but it's too late for that.
Yeah. Well.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least, you know, we could say that we tried when it came to that kind of
Yes.
stuff. Because we did try. Don't
We
get me
did
wrong.
try.
We did try
Again,
as hard as we could.
we were at the beginning of quarantine. Again, we were churning out those Journey 3 animations. We never released all of them, but like we were literally recording one once a week. Albeit that was easier to do because we would just watch a movie and then talk about it. But like, the
sexy bots are coming in. Love chat XYZ.
That's great. I think I'll go there after. That's for the after party, everybody.
Matterhorn Mondays.
Dark.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. We were also gonna. This was partially a joke, but I think something we actually kind of wanted to do was, maybe you guys remember, but Matterhorn Mondays After Dark, where like once a week.
We did do at least one episode, I swear, on Twitch. I streamed on Twitch, and we played Fortnite. I think someone played Fortnite with me.
I don't know if it was me. I only played Fortnite once with you. Like you, me, and Sam the Griff.
Sam
or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sam.
He doesn't play with us anymore. He's too cool for
Sam's
us.
a great Fortniter. Sam's great at it.
Well, he's playing Apex Legends, and let me check if he's playing it right now. In fact, I can probably see. No, he's playing MLB The Show
22. Yep. For 4 hours.
But, but yeah, no, we were gonna go crazy on that show. We were planning drinking games and like, really, it was gonna be fun.
Was gonna be fun. Yeah, that's okay. We can still do it. Play Fortnite and just drink. I mean, that's not.
You never know. If you're watching that new stream with all the music and stuff that Maddie did really well, you might be watching it
later,
randomly one time. Boom!
It's Fortnite.
We're playing Fortnite. You
of
never
course,
know.
everybody has a Disney skin on. We're all like Darth Vader, a Stormtrooper, a Marvel character. Like,
and when
theme,
Overwatch 2 comes out, that's what's going to be on the channel.
I cannot believe Jeremy mentioned Overwatch 2 on this channel, this live stream, this podcast. That's okay.
I had to.
He had to. But yeah, back to the other stuff. So that was 2 reasons that I gave, but there's like a third. I mean, I guess like a bigger reason, you know. Yeah, you know, back when I learned I was trans and all that stuff, I realized that like, and I had like realized this before all that too, like the channel had such like a tie to like my dead name, you know. And I had like not even been a fan of like that aspect for like a long time, like even before I realized, because like that's like not, because like the whole goal for like the channel was to like mimic like the vintage Disney Channel, like to be a TV channel, and that's just like not a good name for like that thing that I was going for. So even before, you know, all that personal stuff happened, that I realized that, and I knew just like trying to change like the whole brand of like the channel would be really difficult, especially because like, you know, I'd done like 4 years worth of content like under that channel name, and like the whole discussion of like deleting videos or like whether or not I should keep them up, it was just like, it's just too much. Yeah, and when I, you know, it was so weird because when I first came out on Twitter and here on YouTube, I made a post, people kept like calling, like saying to change the name. Oh, change the name to Matterhorn Maddie. That's such a cute name. But like, oh, that has a nice ring to it. And that's like really sweet for you guys to say, but that just like, it just didn't feel right. But yeah, that whole personal journey is kind of like I guess like the main reason why I decided to end the channel, because it was my decision. Like I was the one who was like, I can't do this anymore. Yeah, and I do feel, I don't know, I guess I do still feel really bad because we were just talking about like all the plans that we had, and even if they were ambitious plans, like I don't know, I feel like if my heart had been in it more, we could have tried more to get the content that we told you guys we were going to do out there. And you know, a lot of you guys expected a lot from us and really looked up to the channel, which is really sweet, and I really appreciate that. Yeah, not to like get all depressing, but like I do like feel like I let you guys down to some capacity. But I mean, there's like a catalog of like 4 years worth of stuff that you guys can go back and watch, I guess, if you want, to try and relive those days. But yeah, I don't know, I still feel bad, I really do, but I hope it makes up for like the fact that like I'm happier now than I ever was before, like makes up for all that stuff. But yeah, I really did love this channel and making videos about Disney stuff. I mean, obviously I love Disney. I have tattoos, Disney history tattoos all over me. I love Disney.
Yeah, Peter
history.
Pan is a great Disney history tattoo.
Yeah, right.
I
mean,
oh, you want to talk about Disney history tattoos?
Uh-oh. Show it.
Fine, I guess. I mean, it's all over the wall too. Like,
Peter,
it's
I'm sorry your message got deleted. I can still read it. It's the emojis. It's the emojis that's getting some of your guys' comments deleted.
Also, I think this bot thinks this is the other stream because it keeps being like, this is the only beautifully stunning created recreation of the resort. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the emojis, and text caps gets the text, the messages like deleted. But I can still read them. You just can't. Oh, and you can still see them on chat on the screen too. So we can all still see what you guys say. And if it's like inappropriate, then I'll just keep it hidden, you know. But yeah, it's a pretty cool tattoo, Nate.
Thanks.
I want to get sentimental for a moment.
I was going to say the same thing, yeah.
Oh, well, if you want to go first, you can go.
Well, I just wanted to say, I don't think that, Maddie, you need to take any blame for the channel. Yeah. You shouldn't feel bad about that at all. Life gets in the way and projects end, and that's okay. Like, it's... Like, it wouldn't have ever realized as the way we were intending either, you know? It's not like we have all this content and we're just never going to release it. Like we tried and we worked towards it. We had the ideas, we had the concepts, but it just didn't work out, and that's all right. Life got in the way. It's fine. As long as, you know, you're happier, that's what matters the most.
Exactly. And no one blames you, by the way.
Yeah.
No one does. Everyone is so on Team Maddie. Like, just look all over social media. Like, look all in the chats. It's all there. But I do want to say, though, just to thank you for, you know, those few years of collaborating with you, because, like, it was a great collaboration, but also I had always wanted an outlet to be able to say what I've always wanted to say about Disney history. And so to have a partner in crime with that who's able to bring that to life visually was just it was everything I had wanted and more, you know, in that type of putting that kind of content out there. So yes, we had a lot more to say about Disney history, but we're going to change the game. No, I don't know. But okay. You know, hopefully, I know you're going to take that creative energy and put it, you already are putting it in so many other places. So, yeah, but I just want to say thank you for giving me that outlet, because I've always wanted an outlet like that. So I was very grateful to be able to do that.
Yeah. Thank you for being here, Jeremy. I would have been nowhere without Jeremy, to be honest. He was like, he did more than just the writing for the episodes. He's like the whole, like, creative director almost. Like, when it came to music for the episodes and like,
Sorry.
Your mic.
I mean to ruin this moment.
That's okay.
Almost did.
But yeah, thank you for being here, Jeremy. I wouldn't have done it with that other stupid writer, whatever his name was. That
he's not watching. My God.
I don't care. He's the one who make us a very special rule in our Discord server. I'll leave it at that.
You know, but he didn't do a bad job. He just had a different direction for the channel. But you know, and listen, he was much better at, like, I'm a slow, methodical writer. I don't know how he was able to write those videos every single week. I don't know how to do that. So he was very efficient. But yeah, it was a partnership, you know. We at the end, you know, it was you and I. We both shared a vision for what we wanted to say about Disney and history and how we tell Disney history and how we share Disney history.
Yeah.
And
we did a good job.
Yeah.
We really, not to like toot our own
did.
horns, but I think we did really good.
We were gonna go a little deeper, but we did. I'm very proud of the work that we did together.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm trying not to like get all emotional because I'm a little freaking baby, but yeah. So I guess we can move on to the future of the channel. Is there going to be a future of the channel? Will the channel get deleted? Will the videos go private? I don't know.
Yep.
Maybe. I'm gonna keep everything up, I'm sure there's I'll keep everything up for you guys because I know, especially like Historyland, like those they mean a lot to me and they're like good for my portfolio too, like I'll keep them up.
Yeah, I use them as well.
Well, that's good at least. But yeah, so I guess like the future of the channel, nothing's really gonna get deleted. At least like at this moment in time, I'm not gonna be deleting anything. That might change in the future. I might just unlist them and like have links of like ways that you can find the videos, like instructions on like how on the channels for you guys to find. Because like the podcast videos don't need to be like up. But at this moment in time,
they're topical anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you want to go back and hear our
Unless,
thoughts on when like Pixar Pier was announced, like you can, but it's not really gonna inspire you in any way.
Yeah. Well, at this moment, like I said, at this moment in time, nothing's gonna be deleted, but everything will still be available to watch even in the future. And I guess to answer you guys' questions, like I mean, this might change in the future, but at this moment in time, we're not going to be making any new content, like videos, no new podcasts for the channel. But I'm not like saying that as in like we're never going to come back, because there might, who knows, there might be a point in the future where we decide like one more Historyland, let's do more videos or something. I don't know.
That's what I was going to say, because
one more Historyland for the road.
I know Jeremy and I are always looking for something Disney history to write about, and you're not done creatively. You're still doing creative things in other places. So there's always the chance. Or if not, separately, we're all going to be doing something,
Yeah.
There's always reason to, like, we're not done, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
even if we're done together, we're not. Even if we're done together, we're not done
Sure.
separately.
We got our whole lives ahead of us.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how much longer society has left as we know it, but I do know that our lives are at the beginning portion. Early game. We haven't reached mid game yet.
I'm about
We're still
to
in early
reach
game.
quarter of a century. 25
Wow.
years old.
It sucks.
Oh, that's right.
Anyway.
Does suck. But well, I actually had the idea of like, I've always wanted to like remaster some of like the older, like at least the montages, like to update some of the montages that we did with like the music, like with new like HD clips and like maybe like slicker editing. I feel like that's something I've always wanted to do, so maybe we can try that.
Let me know when you want to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
The mouse gears are already turning.
His eyes lit up.
Yeah, well.
But don't worry.
Well, I already
No
technically did do that because I have a history. I cut out parts of the Fantasyland episode to upload to like my personal YouTube to use in my portfolio.
Nice.
And I did update some of the clips in that Fantasyland growing up montage.
Oh, Oh, the growing up montage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the growing up montage. Yeah.
Duh.
The one and only.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't want to, like, I'm saying this, but like, I don't want to get your guys' hopes up because, like, I have.
Don't expect. Don't get your hopes up. Don't expect anything.
This is just hypothetical situations of one day a wave of inspiration might hit Maddie and she'll slide into my DMs and we'll get, but like that's probably not going to happen. So don't.
And the fact that it's all something we still love. Like the door is there, but the door is locked right now.
Sure. We lost the key.
Yeah,
well,
there's a
after this
whole
episode,
quest
the
chain to
key
get the
lost.
key, but I can't even find the NPC to start the quest chain. So
and some of
who
us have to
knows?
graduate college, so
Not me.
I've already done that.
Oh, must be nice. Just kidding.
No, it's really not.
Yeah. Well, like, yeah. Don't want to get your guys' hopes up, but like, maybe one day. You never know.
Historyland a light year.
Stop.
Historyland's Lightyear Space Mountain.
Wait, okay. Well, if
Historyland a light year.
if they do like Lightyear Mountain, we have to like make a video.
Update the Historyland. Just take
No.
the old Historyland and in like an epilogue.
But I will.
And it'll be
post
us.
the
It'll be us standing in
Historyland on
front of
Twitter.
it, and we'll be like, "Here we are." Picture with Buzz.
Yeah. But like you guys were saying, like, we're not done like individually. Like I have all of our Twitters here on our pictures listed for a reason. Like Jeremy does stuff. I still make, I guess, well, yeah, I do still make like YouTube videos. Not like anywhere near this kind of like stuff, like Disney stuff, but
You can see the influence.
yeah, you can see the influence. All that is linked in the description along with all of our like Twitters and stuff where you can find us. But yeah, I'm just really busy and I have been for a very long time. And this is maybe one day when I'm a billionaire and won't have to work anymore, then we can start and I can pay you guys. I can actually pay
That
you
was
guys.
great. There was a period where I was paid $15 a script.
There was a stretch of one episode where I was paid $10.
But because I was a patron and paying you like $15 a month.
You're still at a net loss.
I was gonna say I think Maddie still owes me $5.
Hey, I'll give you $5. Talk to me after.
No,
the show.
No, it's okay.
No, but by the end, I was actually investing a ton of money into like I paid a former Imagineer, Eddie Sato, a lot of money to do a voiceover.
Wait, we can
for
play
us,
it. Can't we play it?
I don't know if I have it
I
still.
might have it. You keep talking.
He did. He was
No,
gonna be.
don't play it on the stream. Post it on Twitter later. You'll get more followers.
Well, we can do
cynical. I don't know. Yeah, he was basically gonna be the announcer of the new intro to Historyland. So do you have it? That'd be funny to play.
Let me see.
I've heard it. It's really good.
I think this is my voiceover. I have all the sound effects. Acornrag.b.wav.
Oh, for the episode.
Dandelionrag.wav. Yeah, the music. I thought maybe there's like one in the intro folder. Well, if I find it, then I'll play it.
Yeah, if she finds it, she'll play it or she'll post it because we're probably gonna wrap up in a minute here. Anyway, I think.
Yeah, no, we're pretty much almost done. But I did want to mention this channel is technically not fully dead, quote unquote, because I have made. I don't know if you guys have.
In fact, I'd say it's pretty live. It's all the time.
For 24 hours.
24/7. 365 days a year.
Yeah, so.
Unless the power goes out in LMG Vid's Fortress.
Yeah, so basically, I'm sure if you guys have like visited the channel recently, you've seen the like live stream that I've had of the is there like an official name for it? The Walt Disney World Today channel.
Today channel. Resort TV channel.
Resort TV channel. I'm sure if you guys have been following the channel for a long time, you'll remember I started working on this like 2 years ago, almost 2020, in like quarantine.
If you recall, for a little bit, it was the what played before the stream, not the stream, but the episode of the podcast started.
Yeah, and sorry, I'm just trying to like bring it up here to show you guys. But yeah, so I made like as accurate as I could make it. Well, like still like customized to like the channel, you know. Here I'm making it full screen. Yeah, so this is like technically the channel will still be alive in like this form, because you'll be able to come to the channel and watch the live stream of the Resort TV, which I'm very proud of, by the way. It took me a long time to make. So that's like the video. That's like the live feed. You guys can go watch that right now. And we're still adding new music to it eventually. Still adding new features to it. Yeah, so that's...
Who knows? One day you might watch Beyond the Stream, and DJ Diz Freak.
Yeah, that's... DJ Diz Freak
will be jockeying, and you know, hey guys, let's caller number 3 will get you know.
I hope not.
I'm trying to like bring it up to like there.
I hope not. That was
Good
so
enough.
genuine.
But yeah, so that's that, and this is like, not to be like all sappy or whatever, this is like my final gift to you guys, the channel, to all the viewers of the channel, you know. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that. It's really cool. You guys can check it out if you want, but I think do you guys have any final thoughts, I guess, to say?
I do, but does Jeremy want to go first?
Wait, do we want to do our like closing statements, or like...
Yeah, that's...
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go first?
Go!
Nate can go first.
All right. I guess I'll just say thank you to Maddie, I guess to the viewers as well, even though you haven't really seen me. I was there for a lot of the last streams. It was always really fun. But thank you to the Discord server as well, because I met so many friends through there who are like best friends now. Jeremy, Maddie, both of you actually. And I mean, I keep this picture on my desk of the time we went to Disneyland together. Where is it? So I can always remember.
Wait, show it up.
And
show it again.
And to me, this is like what the channel gave to me. Like, even though it's gone.
But yeah, really, it was not just what I said before, a creative outlet for me to share my perspective on Disney history, but also the community that you curated. You know, you fostered that sense of community. You could have been like a lot of these other YouTubers who aren't even on their Discord server. You know, you made an effort. Not going to name names. There's nothing wrong with that either. Cover that. But you really went out of your way to foster a sense of community, and we all know that that's hard to do, you know. So yeah, and again, I've met so many great friends via the community that you put together, like, you know. And it was great. It was great. And now everything sucks. My life is falling apart. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, and I also want to thank the viewers. I mean, so many people turned up today who've been longtime viewers of the podcast and supported Historyland. And would have supported us even if we started making like
Universal videos.
Bob Chapek, yeah, or I don't know, like even if we started making history of Fortnite, I mean, like you guys would
Oh, that's a
probably
good
still
idea,
watch.
actually.
Don't give him any ideas.
So yeah, it's just been a great community. I think that's number one, the sense of we never really cracked the 100,000 to 1 million subscribers point.
That's okay.
But what we did have was a really solid community, and that I would take that over having 1 million subscribers and having this pay my bills. Well, I would love that too. But the sense of community is the bigger takeaway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd like to interject. Mark asked if the Discord will be will it be staying up? Yeah, it will be.
Yeah.
That's always going to be there. So like, please
For
use
some
it.
reason. Yeah, I'll link the Discord in the description, I guess, for you guys to join. I'll have to change. I still have to change like a few things, but yeah, a lot of memories there. I can't just delete it.
Oh yeah, 3-hour Ratatouille guy. I mean,
we should have had him send a video in.
We should have.
He would have done it. He would have
have.
claymationed a video for us. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Jeremy. I guess it's my turn now. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How it goes.
Yeah. Well, I guess to echo what everybody else said, this channel was like my life for 5 years, almost 4 years, I guess technically. I started this 5 years ago. How old would I have been? 19, 18, around there. I was so young when I started this channel. And I honestly didn't ever think it would reach like 11,000 subscribers is like nothing to like scoff at, that's a lot of people who enjoyed the things that we made. I never thought that many people would, like my videos and like me, I guess, because you guys were like, we were all really cool, really close, the community. But yeah, I really do like owe everything to this channel. Like, I would not be the same person I am now if I had never started this YouTube channel. I never would have met. I mean, I'm like echoing what these two have said, but like meeting Jeremy and like Nate and like Emmy and Autumn and everybody never would have been possible without this channel. I'm very grateful for all the friends that I've made along the way, and yeah, I'm so happy that I got to use this channel as a creative outlet for myself for the past 4 years. And yeah, I'm trying to
Let it out.
No, I'm not gonna cry. I seriously will cherish all 11,000 of you guys. I remember I get DMs from you guys on my second Twitter, like saying, "Oh, Maddie, I don't know if you remember me, but I used to watch the podcast. I used to watch the channel." And they say, of course, I remember every single one of you guys who's ever DM'd me that. I remember everybody. I will cherish all of you, people who helped make this possible, and who've stuck with us for so long through so many trials and tribulations. We did dip below 11,000 subscribers, but we got back up there recently with the live stream. And
it's just gonna keep going up.
One by one. One at a year.
by
Plus
one.
one a year. Plus one subscriber.
Now we'll get to 1 million.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, like I said, I owe everything to this channel. I really do. And I'm forever grateful for it and for the memories that I've made and for the friends that I've made. So thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you to everybody.
Thank you.
Don't.
Of course, yeah, thank you.
You guys don't have to thank me.
No,
I didn't
we
do
do.
anything.
It's all your fault, all of this. The
Yeah, it's
fact
our
we're both here right now, it's your fault. So we have to say thank you.
It's our fault that we all went to Disneyland together in December.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some of us, showed up for a little bit longer than others, but
You know.
I'm not going to name names.
Yeah.
Still got the picture.
That's right.
Yeah, a lot of pictures. Yeah. Is that it? I think I'm done with that.
I think that's it. And we'll play
Yeah.
the remaining videos and voicemails, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, we do have one. Excuse me. Transcript not available for this voicemail. Oh, okay. We do have one. Wait, are you guys still there? Oh my god.
Yes.
Okay, we're back.
I'm here.
One last Discord crash for everybody. But we do have a final voicemail to get to. Let's go ahead and let this play for you guys.
I think we're frozen.
Wait, you guys are frozen. There we go. Okay, final voicemail.
Hi, it's Marlena. I run a YouTube channel, Dream Sounds. I think y'all are so awesome. I've already told you a few times, Maddie, about how much I'm a fan of your work. And I just want to say congrats on such a wonderful channel. I think y'all really did something wonderful. I don't know, it was an interesting time, I think, when you were making videos. I had just left at the end of high school or something. I left the Disney fandom. I think I was just becoming disillusioned with a sort of, at least in the spaces I frequented, just like a conservative / queerphobic slant. And so I kind of just pieced out for a bit. And I was drawn back into it through video essays. And of course, your channel was a huge part of that. And so it was great just like remembering, wow, I really enjoy this stuff. And also just like the production value, my God. I mean, I'll never forget when I first saw the Fantasyland, Historyland episode. I was just like, oh my God, this is wild. So, very happy for you all. Very well written, very well edited. And yeah, such a great show. And I know y'all will do great things in the future. So congrats on a great show and thanks for the memories. Okay, bye.
Thank you. We love her.
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
Well, is that it? Are we done? Besides the videos?
That's it.
That's it.
Oh my god. Yeah. Matterhorn Mondays, you guys, it's done. Let's not
This is
drag
the
this
last
on for too long.
This is the last Monday.
The last Monday of all time. It's just gonna be Tuesdays from now on. After Sunday.
Yep.
No more news happening.
All right.
Roll the credits. Come on.
Yeah. Okay.
So how are you playing? You're just gonna roll through the videos? Is that?
Yeah. I'll play like each video after each other, and then we'll get through them all.
All right.
Okay.
Right.
Well, again,
Thank you for coming, everyone.
Yeah. We
Bye.
appreciate all the live viewers, and thank you again. We love you all, seriously, from the bottom of our hearts. You mean the world to us. Not just people watching live, but to people who watch this,
For me, it's just the people who are watching live.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Well, I love the people who watch later as well.
And I love both.
I'll never know them, so.
You know them.
You're right.
All right.
Don't leave the stream. We have more videos to play.
Yeah, do not leave the stream.
More kind words from everyone.
Kind words from the community.
From the previous guests that were on the show, on the podcast. So we have some more videos from that. So yeah, you guys can follow us on Twitter. If you'd like, our socials are in the description. If you'd like to keep up on us for whatever reason you'd like to, you can see like the work that I do, like on my other stuff, the YouTube channels that I make, Jeremy's stuff, Nate, if you do something, they'll be able to see it.
I'm going to Disney World in 2 days. I'll post a lot of pictures.
Nate's
Follow
going
me.
to Disney World in 2 days. Follow Nate, follow Jeremy, and you don't have to follow me. You guys already subscribed, so. But follow Freddie. Freddie's great.
Follow Freddie.
He's great.
Follow Freddie wherever he goes.
Yeah. No. Okay. Well, yeah. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Hey guys, it's Rodney. Here to say goodbye to the show. So sad to see it go, but I did want to share some of my favorite parts of being on the show. When I had went on for the first time, I was just starting my creative, path to my career, and I felt like the team on the show really helped me express my creative ideas, kind of encouraged me to get out there more, and I am eternally grateful for all the show has done for me, and I'm very glad to share this moment with so many people that have watched the show over the years, and I'm glad that I could be a part of that. So goodbye guys, I can't wait to see what's in store for all of you, involved, and have a happy final show.
Hi Maddie, it's Jack from DSY here, in the Magic Kingdom at the moment, and I just wanted to say it's sad to see Matterhorn Mondays.
Hey Matterhorn Monday viewers, it's LMG Vids here. Now Maddie didn't really specifically tell us, but
Hi Maddie, it's Jack from DSY here, in the Magic Kingdom at the moment, and I just wanted to say it's sad to see Matterhorn Mondays go, but well done on all the episodes you did on the channel, and thank you for having me on all those years ago for the Jeopardy Disney Parks episode. Didn't quite get the gist of how Jeopardy worked, because obviously we don't have it in the UK, so kind of messed it up quite a bit, but either way, I enjoyed coming on, and thank you for having me on that episode, and good luck with whatever you do next.
hey Matterhorn Monday viewers, it's LMG Vids here. Now Maddie didn't really specifically tell us what to say, but I'll just try to make it up as I go. Basically, I really did enjoy the Matterhorn Mondays podcast. It was a really great thing. Each of my videos used to take about 3 to 4 hours to do, mainly because of grading and editing. It took forever. So having the Matterhorn Mondays podcast to look forward to, and to listen to while I was editing, really made the editing go by faster. You have the Disney commentary, Disney news, you have the really weird phone calls that always come in, you have jokes, and it was always a fun time to listen to it. I really did enjoy it. I'm kind of sad that, the podcast is going away, but at the same time, I do understand that everyone has their own life. Maddie, you just recently came out. Congratulations on that. It's a big deal to come out, and it's also a big deal to end such a monumental achievement with the podcast and the channel you've grown, as well as congratulations to all the people working behind the scenes on Matterhorn Mondays and Matterhorn and the Matterhorn channel, because they created some amazing things as well. They created the History Land, and they also worked to create such an amazing podcast. So congratulations to all of that. As for my favorite moment on the podcast, it definitely has to be Matterhorn Mondays episode 143 at specifically 5720. I like this part the best because I actually phoned in this episode, and I talked about the monorail doors in Disney World falling off, which is absolutely a feature, 100% planned by Disney. And I also got to talk a little bit about Shanghai Disneyland, probably one of the worst Disney parks that Disney has probably ever built in their lives. Not good. Not good at all. Outside of that, yeah, congratulations on everything else, Maddie, and congratulations again to the crew. You guys did an amazing job on the channel, and I'm a little sad to see you guys go, but again, good luck to the future, and I hope everything goes well. I know Maddie asked me to keep this below 1 minute, and we're now doubling that time. So you're welcome, Maddie. And this is LMG Vid signing out. That was incredibly cringe. I don't even know why I said that. Oh my god.
Hey everybody, I am so excited to be back here with the Mountaineers. Man, I remember the very first time I was on the podcast. I remember just how impressed I was with the production quality and the insight that Maddie had on all of these different things relating to the Disneyland and Disney World Resort. And now, here we are. How many years later is it? Remind me? Oh no. Now, one of my favorite memories I remember, it was me, Maddie, and Rob Plays, now known as Midway to Main Street, and we all got together and we played Jeopardy. And I thought I was going to do really well. I thought I was easily the most knowledgeable out of the three of us, but little did I know, I had my work cut out for me, and my opponents, it didn't go quite in my favor as I had hoped. So I just remember playing Jeopardy with my good friends back then. It was the first sort of live stream sort of event I had been on, and I remember it vividly to this day because I got embarrassed in front of everyone, and I had such a good time doing it. So thank you, Mountaineers. I hope to see some of you again, in person, in the parks, or online. Thank you for all of the memories.
On and hello Mountaineers, Maddie and company, Mark Canapé from TASD Vlogs and more. Well, goodbyes are never easy, and to be honest with you, I then don't really know what other words to say. But one of my favorite moments over the last few years that I've known you was very early on in our friendship. In 2018, we had met in the summer, and over in the winter, one of my favorite moments, unexpected, Santa falls from the sleigh. And I was there in the audience watching this parade, and I noticed the long stop. And when the parade resumed, there was no Santa, and the sleigh was tilting down. Immediately, I knew that he fell. And the next thing I knew, I was already on Twitter searching for any videos, any of the answers, so that I can send it to you. And you were live, by the way, and I thank you for this. I remember this vividly, that after I sent you the DM, you put it right on the stream for the viewers to see. It was one of the most hilarious moments that I've ever witnessed. But the mere acknowledgement of me and you putting it up, and it just meant a lot. And Maddie, thank you so much for all you've done over the last few years, providing not just quality Disney content and a conversation about the future of the parks that we love, but also being one of the nicest people ever. That's something that can't be replicated. Best wishes to your future endeavors, whatever they may be, and good luck to everybody else. Thank you so much for the last few years of friendship.
Hey everybody, Rob Plays here. I just wanted to send this in and send a fond farewell to Matterhorn Mondays and the Mountaineer Productions channel. It's been over 3 years, believe it or not, since I've been on the show myself. And I was just looking at that episode and kind of reliving fond memories. And two things that really stuck out to me were, well, one, for like the first 5 minutes of the show, I think I had a giant tuft of hair sticking up and I was completely oblivious to it. So good job, Rob. But two, I thought it was really interesting how we were talking about Galaxy's Edge right before it opened, and we were speculating about how they might control crowds. And if this was, of course, before we knew about the now famous or infamous virtual queue system. And it made me realize that's a large part of what I love about the Disney community. We can get together and we can talk about things we care about, and we can speculate and guess and, you know, try and figure out what's going to happen. And sometimes we're right and sometimes we're really wrong. And ultimately it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, we are all just passionate about these parks and we get together and have fun talking about something we really care about. In any case, thanks so much for everything you've done over the years, and good luck to you in the future.
Hey, everybody. This is Jack, Park Ride History. You might remember me from having a channel once upon a time. Seems like a while ago. But I wanted to jump on here for the farewell episode of Matterhorn Mondays, because I would say I was a pretty big fan of the show back when it was still on, and have kind of missed it since it's been off the air. And there's been one memory kind of kicking around in my brain, a nice fond memory from, I think it was back in 2020. It was whenever the Splash Mountain news broke, and you guys did an episode on it. And I just remember on whatever day that came out, watching that and also working on one of my own videos and just having a nice, comfy, cozy, rainy day, gotta stay in type of day with that episode. And, you know, there was a lot of moments like that with the show. It was a very pleasant, enjoyable show that I will say I'm going to miss. But, you know, good things come to an end sometimes, which I definitely know for sure. And, yeah, I just wanted to jump on here and tell that story for the last episode before we call curtains on this whole thing. And just thank you guys for all the episodes, all the content. I definitely enjoyed it. All right, that's it. Thank you, guys. I am signing off. Thank you for everything. I'm going back into hibernation. And, yeah, that's it. Bye.
This is Orange Grove 55, wishing Mountaineer Productions a very, very fond farewell. You know, I remember that day when Maddie asked me to come on the channel, and I was so excited. I just started off on YouTube. I was only like a year or so into it, and I was just super excited when she asked me, and I was nervous though. I was really, really nervous. You know, Mountaineer Productions is a big channel, and I was new to this whole thing, and but once I got in there, and I felt right at home. You know, it was really, 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 really fantastic. She made me feel right at home, very comfortable, and it was just basically just friends talking about this thing that we all love so much, which is Disneyland, right, and the parks. And I'll never forget it. It was a really, really wonderful experience. You know, Maddie has done some amazing things with this channel, right? To this day, I get goosebumps with some of the content that she has released. There is this teaser she made for one of her Historyland documentaries, right? And it was for the Fantasyland Historyland special, and it was just a teaser for that. And it was one of the most beautiful tributes, not just to Fantasyland, but to Disneyland in general. And to this day, I find myself watching it and just, I tear up. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful pieces of work I've ever seen anyone do in regards to the park. And it's just a gorgeous tribute. And, you know, there's example after example in regards to Mountaineer Productions and the level of quality that was constantly produced. And you can just tell the amount of love that went into it. And, this channel will be greatly missed, and we love you, Maddie. We absolutely love you. But here, you know what? Like Walt Disney said, we're constantly moving forward, opening new doors. And so while the channel, the door is closed on that era, right? you open up a new door, a new era, an exciting new era going forward. And just like Walt Disney said, keep moving forward. Maddie, we absolutely love and support you. You are amazing.
Hello, my name is Autumn, and I also go by Little Tomato. I'm friends with the people on this channel. Right now I'm sick with COVID, and I thought it was a great time to do a cover of September Rest in Peace flyers in honor of the last Matterhorn Mondays. Okay, here we go. Do you remember the day of the 4th of September? Flick was packing his bags and remembers all the good times he had these days. Our hearts were soaring all the while we were crying, 'cause we knew he couldn't be returning. He got squashed by an Iron Man. Oh yeah. Body, riding on flyers, body, lots of churro bars, body, but they had to fly away. Body.